Big move down here for futures as we get April PPI coming through month over month, 0.5%. That's higher than expected. 0.2% was expected there. Again, core PPI, same story, 0.5% to the upside, 0.2 expected on the core number as well. Year over year, 2.4% in line with expectations of 2.4%. Price index 144.1. Slight uptick there, 143.9 was forecast. That's higher than the last one as well. So 2 days in a row, we're kicking off here with inflation data, key inflation data. PPI this morning, the big one coming up tomorrow morning. CPI at this time. Make sure you're with us at 8:30. We'll bring that to you live. But that is a little unexpected on the producer side of things. Market downside here as a result. Typically PPI, not really a market mover, but we are very highly focused, of course, on all things inflation at this point. Yeah, two big things coming up this morning, one at 9:10. Fed's cook, who cares? Fed's Powell, meanwhile, at 10 o'clock this morning. He's speaking over in Amsterdam. I was reading this morning at a banking event over in Amsterdam. So who knows if he'll comment not only on this number, but what is to come tomorrow at 8:30.
I'm sure they won't spare him any questions about inflation, Brendo, so I'm sure we'll get some commentary on there. Yeah, a little bit of high, a little bit low. It's back and forth this year. We already saw some seasonality. Starting out in January, February came in higher, and March continued the trend. April was a bit of a reprieve, but here we go again. So we'll keep eyes on that. But really, everybody wants to talk about these meme stocks, Brendo.
Yeah, a little bit of a pullback right now, but yeah, that's really where it's at this morning. I mean, market overall, 0.3 for the S&P, now about 0.5% downside for the NASDAQ. There's Google I.O. event coming up today as well. We'll keep an eye out for comments surrounding that, but all right.
Yeah. Wow.
GME or AMC?
Just AMC because of the price. GME is going to be hard to manage risk.
Yeah, I mean there was an offering I saw this morning. Yeah. Not that that matters at all at this point, but yeah, what moved down in the market here, guys? GME just ticking right along here, back to the upside.
Well, the best part about the meme craze is it doesn't matter what the market's doing. The market could tank, a Fed speaker could come on, and it literally makes no difference because they're going to go how they go. The difference between the two, I mean, you can say price all you want, but AMC doesn't halt because GME has less liquidity. So I feel like AMC, for most people, is going to be the one that's a little bit more reasonable. You don't have to go from halt to halt. It's going to be day 2 for these guys. It's day like 8 for GameStop. As there he is himself, the meme.
We're already trading this right here, guys. Here it goes, 1070. We're long 1030 on AMC. We're already doing it here again today as this market opens up. We may have, I mean, we've already just made right here today about 15% of what we made yesterday, and we punched in 2 damn minutes ago. So here it goes again, man. We're here to trade. We're here to show you what's good. It's AMC, it's GME. Sticky note may not even exist today. We're trading AMC. We just took another piece out right there. It's a 50-cent winner. Let's keep going on AMC, Neil. This money's going to be here right now. Thank you so much, Trading Mindset. Thank you, everybody out there as well. We're long right now, $10.34. Let's get this party started. It is 8:33, guys. Yeah, we're focused.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's a long list of supporting characters to talk about today as well. That was a little bit more than yesterday. Here's one of them. I was reading about Beyond Meat this morning. Remember, nearly 50% of the float in this is still short, up 13.4%. But I mean, we mentioned a few of them yesterday. I mean, there's BlackBerry, there's Cost, there's this SoundHound moving around. All of the not Tesla EV stocks are higher again this morning. Like it's a lot.
Yeah, and the solar ones are running SPWR up a cool 98%. That's a big move there for SunPower. Keep your eye on that one. Holo is running as well, HOLO, as Brendo mentioned, KOSS. Funny enough, Neil was looking this morning at the short float on KOSS, and there wasn't much. It was like 2% or something. He can speak to that, which is interesting because there used to be a heavy short float on that.
Yeah, just double checking on Lucid just popped up in front of me once again. I don't actually see any data on this on the short side of things, but remember, this one had a decent move out of the gate this morning. yesterday, up above $3, trying to get back there again. So it's not just the famous two, guys, but they are definitely leading the way here.
Just a slight correction there. I misspoke on that to you, Sharif. It's not 2%. It's 0.2% is the short float on cost. If cost goes up on sympathy, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. You need a reason. If everything's going up because of a short squeeze, then you want there to at least be some shorts in there. BlackBerry is in play. Beyond Meat is at least in play. Novavax can be in play, but the volume is elsewhere. Look at Beyond Meat here. I mean, you can see it kind of ticking. It just made a 1-cent move, and it is gapped up on sympathy, but there is no volume. I'm staring at it. I've seen 3 prints in this time that I pulled it up. It's got a 14-cent spread. It is not moving right now. So I just feel like these are the way I want to approach Beyond Meat. Maybe not Novavax, but Beyond Meat and BlackBerry. I think is going to be the one. Is if you get moves down or halts down or anything crazy, then come to one of these that's kind of going up, floating higher for not as much of a reason. So that to me applies to BlackBerry, Beyond Meat, and BlackBerry. BlackBerry's already starting to gap back down. If they give it up, I think this sucker fills in the gap. Again, the volume just not nearly there as much on these bad boys as you're going to see over on, say, like AMC, which is, sorry about the dark pool wicks, but a lot of overnight prints are going to go at prices you saw in the middle of the night. So you're going to have these wild wicks back and forth sometimes. But the volume's clearly not in those names. If it's not doing vol, then to me it's like a sympathy play if things start to reverse. It's easier to short BlackBerry than it is to short GameStop.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to lie about it. I'm only going to be watching AMC and GME. I don't think you need to. I think by looking at other things, find one that you like, but you can't trade 4 or 5 of these at once. You just got to pick one. So I've already picked it. So I'm going to be on GME and AMC today. My number one stock, the number one trade all day yesterday was GME. We'll see if we could do it again today. I'm looking at both of them. I don't really have a preference. AMC was bouncing around $10, so I decided to take that. We could have done the same thing here at 65, I guess, on GME. They're kind of one and the same, so I'm just going to stay where the bread is being buttered, and right now it's all over these stocks. So, I mean, we also had basically 1-2 yesterday was also NVDA. NVIDIA and GME yesterday, and then we show our ability just to go back and trade an AMC today that I haven't traded in months, right? So, yeah, we'll just stay here. We'll look at NVIDIA. I mean, we all forget the market just had a nice little move down about 100 points or 150 points on the NASDAQ, and then they just said that's a nice story, and now it's coming all the way back up. So, I mean, there's going to be lots to trade here today. I'm not sure what to do. I haven't even started the sticky note yet, so I'm just watching these other stocks, trying to figure out what we're going to do with all this. It's going to be a great day. Thank you for coming here. We'll be trading all these meme names and everything, so let's get ready to go.
This 8:30 economic number dump by the dip pattern continuing pretty much every time that happens now. We just go right back to the upside. I wanted to touch on SPWR real quick. A couple of people mentioning this. 150%. This one just popping up on a volume scanner in front of me as well. I mean, even this is 25% short. I mean, you mentioned some of the solar names. This is a clean energy name, just taking out 7 here, but huge volume coming into SPWR as well.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, this one started to go yesterday. We were talking about the solar names possibly starting to move yesterday. Keep your eye out on some Sunrun as well, RUN. There's a bunch, JKS. Those are Chinese. Those are Chinese solar companies. Keep your eye on those. Yeah, I mean, all the beat down stuff, Brendo, the stuff that hasn't done well in 2023 and 2024 is going to run. So.
Man. Even space, Virgin's up 16%. Tilray up 8% here currently. If you missed it this morning or you're joining a little bit late, $250 million in new equity raise coming through for AMC as well. But yeah, long list here, guys.
Yeah, but they completed an old equity raise. That was somebody already filed. They just sort of completed it. If it was something new, you'd have a different reaction to the stock. It's just, obviously it's going to chew through a lot of volume here today. But as mentioned, there's going to be a million things today. Like that's why I'm separating. I have them in buckets. If like, I only want to be long the memes, the mains, and if I go short something, I want to short. Preferably going to be like BlackBerry. If I see a turn, I want to be in the BlackBerry. And now you're getting a bit of a turn. Like this SPR, like good luck with that. I mean, at the end of the day, like this thing just ramped like $2 in 2 seconds. It just pulled back like a 10% move. And can it sustain? I don't know. You know, I think when you have this meme rally, you're going to get all of these like ancillary names that are going to come out of nowhere. And if you just sort of stay focused on the main ones, I think you're good to go. The only other one that's out there for me is one that's weirdly fundamental, and that's just going to be Novavax, simply because like they did have news for the reason for their squeeze, and it's too good to. If it breaks this top, like a triple top in here, they got a massive short float. They're not going bankrupt anymore because they got that Sanofi deal. So I just feel like if this one goes, you know, I wanted it yesterday. Obviously, you can see it didn't really break that 14 high, and it looks like it wants to try to make a run at it today. So that would be the only one on the outside that I'd be looking at here, and it's for a very specific play in there. Tilray, the weed stocks, I don't know. Like they had a great run a couple weeks ago. They were pretty good. I just feel like without any new news, you got to be in what's moving now. And as far as I'm concerned, like you have some dark pool wicks in here, but trust me when I tell you, like 950 in here was a legitimate support level. So that's where I want to look dips into. The last time I remember this, the day two at the open when it gapped this far, there was some profit taking selling at the open. So I'm almost even looking for a halt down on like a GameStop for like a halt entry, because sometimes those can be good at 930. I don't think AMC does that because AMC is too liquid to likely halt, but GameStop, if it halts down early and then opens higher, that's one of the long setups I like at the open.
We have, I mean, we've already discussed the memes, but Google has their conference today. This is the #1 stock on our watch list here, watchlist.tradertv.live. We're going to get to all of this, but that could be interesting. That's at 1 o'clock, so I feel like you might be able to, trade it normally until about then. Remember, I was staying away from Apple because their event, I think, was 10 o'clock. This could be a nice little dip buy opportunity again. So the market coming back, you can see Google's, playing with that as well. I'm almost thinking the market might be the hot thing to trade right now. We did just get reloaded. Again, we're not going anywhere. I said that yesterday. We just got reloaded down there in the 30s again on AMC. So let's see if we can get back up into the 60s, as we got out of 60% of it on the high side the first time. We just bought some 38s again. So our average price now 35. So let's wait to see what happens right here. But yeah, I'm looking at Google. I think Apple still has some play in it as well. All the obvious ones, like we've been writing down on our sticky note forever, big cap tech names. Apple, AMD under 150 now. Like there's just some sort of key levels that are out there for all these things. So if you're interested in looking at that today, AMD's down 0.5 while the market's only down 0.2. So this, some weakness here in some of the chip names. And then Intel got that Apollo yesterday, so bounced off 30. So that could be a nice little spot there for Intel as well. If you dip into a $30 mark, that might be a decent buy. So some early ideas there in the chip space, but I would prefer AMD weaker under 150 is sort of the look for me.
I love that 51.
In the beginning.
Yeah,
what?
It's a Bacardi.
It's at 50 right now, right?
I know,
it's not going to open there.
Think about AMD. I'm only laughing because like every time I say 151, I just think of like, 151 proof. But
151.
Yeah, it's been a big level on AMD. Since the earnings, it was the top the next day, and then it was support for the week after, and it just kind of broke that 151 today. That's not a good thing, obviously. But like back into previous support, like that's a traditional type of setup in there. Previous support turning into resistance. Like I do like that, and if the number is going to come a little bit hot, I don't want to. Google, I think, gets interesting after 1 o'clock. I think you can probably play it into it. But the chip names, AMD was getting punked all afternoon, if not most of the early afternoon, even the late morning. So why not just join back into that trend for sure? Appreciate the chat. Thank you so much in super chat there. Bidney, Tilray, it's a meme. What utility? We needed news? You don't necessarily need news, but. So the thing about it is, like Tilray's done, it's good volume. It's done 4 million shares. The bulk of that was just on this dark pool printing that just went off. Like that, it hasn't really done a ton of volume. Like you see one massive overnight dark pool print, and otherwise it's not really moving that much. So it's gapped up, yes, but it's not like actively trading right now. And I'm assuming that's the same thing for CGC.
All right, a couple other things to make note of here this morning. Alibaba, one of those downside here in a pretty big way coming off their report. There was a buyback I saw, a dividend declared as well for Alibaba, but some of the other Chinese ADRs moving around here this morning as well. NIO just took out 550 there, trying to tick to the upside. I mean, there's going to be so much focus on some of these highly shorted names today, but there are earnings as well.
Yeah, Alibaba did really poorly. Let's just call a spade a spade. They beat analyst expectations with respect to revenue. They printed about $30.7 billion worth of revenue, but net profit plunged 86% year over year. That is not a good look, mostly really here due to weaker consumer demand in China. There were some signs of strength, though. The good news is that their Taobao and their Tmall starting to pick up a little bit of steam, and as Brendo mentioned, about a $25 billion buyback program from now until March of 2027.
You were just mentioning as well, volume across the board this morning here, much higher than usual. SPWR continuing to pop up in front of me here, trying to test $7 here once again. Again, huge volume. There it goes. Just took out 7, guys. So day highs coming here on this SPWR. Again, if you're just joining, 25% short on this one.
The power, I guess. Obviously, that's going to be true. Yeah, we'll get to Alibaba a little bit later, but SPWR joining this long litany and list of names. This is I said that AMC is unlikely to halt and GameStop is a high halt potential. SPWR falls in the latter category. And look, yesterday, my best trade in GameStop was a halt trade. It wasn't necessarily like playing it into a halt. It was actually taking the halt price on a break. That is something I would not do with SPR, because if it halts at the open, it's doing so off at the top. And like to me, that's just a little bit, it's out of pocket. Like GameStop yesterday, it halted at the open, but it was essentially halting into the breakout. Like it was breaking out the high when it went into the halt. So you took the halt and then it goes higher. I think if you look at something like SPR, like if this halts at the open to the upside, like it's already doubled going into that. So that's a very, very different ball game for me. I'd almost think that if it would have to halt down a couple of times, or like probably at least once, to get you somewhere, relieve that pressure, and then try and catch it. Not nearly the liquidity that you're going to find over in, like I look at AMC, which is similarly priced, and it's got much more liquidity over there. But yeah, I'm not catching any halts that are that high up. GameStop was a special situation because of where it was, where you just take the halt off the open long. I wouldn't do that with SPR. GameStop was very, very specific. It's not usually the safest play, but there was so much momentum behind GameStop, and you weren't having to buy it at some ridiculous price at 9:30.
AMC, we reloaded it. It's going back upside right now again, right here. So, I mean, I haven't even really, you know, SPWR, I won't look at, I've already told you, I won't be looking pretty much at any of these things today. The one name that I think is going to be interesting, we saw Rivian move around. Another interesting name for me, Rivian back to 11.25. We're finally in the money on that trade. Shout out to Chef Joe. By the way, here it goes. Like, I can't, honestly, it's not, you know, when you're actually sitting here and you're a trader and you're trying to not only host a show and give you guys what you want, but also make a little bit of money here, I have to be focused here on AMC. So we're in this stock right now. I do have an offer at 88 right now. So, I mean, we talk about this, man. True traders stay late, and we're trying to put it on the board here as well. So now we're going to 1080, 1081, 1082. I have an offer at 88. Like, I mean, this could easily moon, obviously. I'm going to take a piece out right now. There, we took a 75. I canceled my 88 in case in case that 80 seems to be a top here. We've reloaded this. It's just the pre-market, guys. Look at that. That seems like that was a decent out right there. So let's hit a little bit of a siren as it falls back into 1050, giving you reloads. Like, we're making 3, 4, 5% here, like nothing. So let's see if it comes back into $10. We've reloaded it. We're getting some out. We're getting in and out of these stocks. But so far, it is a good day here. Robinhood. Yeah, we can watch Robinhood. Robinhood yesterday was really fun. And I just want to say, look, thank you so much to everybody here in the chat. I've never even seen you before, SM, but thank you so much for those type of talk. Thank you so much, Chef Joe, and everything. You know, I'm trying to teach, trade, do, entertain, and everything all at once. I think that's exactly what we do here at Trader TV Live, and I'm happy to be here doing this with you guys. So there it is right there. You can see our positions at the bottom, and trade along, trade your own. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Let's go over, are we ready for Adara? Nope, okay.
All right, I wanted to touch on crypto here real quick. Downside here for Bitcoin today. Equities following suit. So I saw an analyst with an opinion this morning that was kind of interesting in that is specifically related to equities, possibly some money coming out of some of these names that have had a pretty good year and going into some of these more volatile names, maybe even just in the short term, but holding on to this 61.5, 62 area, still bottom of the range here for Bitcoin.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense. I mean, a bit of overlap between the type of buyers there. We'll have to see. Recall on Friday that we had a net outflows out of the ETF. So IBIT and the other spot ETFs all had net outflows. Then on the weekend, Bitcoin reclaimed that $62,000 level, and we did well yesterday. But on the way down today, we should also mention that digital miner TerraWolf missed estimates yesterday, so it's been a tough look for these miners, Brendo, ever since the halving event. They haven't been able to make the same amount of money.
That being said, there are still individual names in this group that are highly shorted as well, of course. So worth keeping an eye on. Let's get some analyst moves for you this morning, and Darren has those over at the big screen.
Not a lot of major names on the list today for Tuesday. Yeah, we have Atmos Energy getting upgraded by Wells Fargo. Guggenheim here upgrading Amicus Therapeutics. Western Digital Semiconductor here to keep an eye on. This one getting an upgrade from Citigroup. And Veru getting upgraded here by B. Riley, trading up about 2.5%. To the downside, we have this Lee Rank Partners downgrade for AirSculpt down about 2.5%. Augmetics taking a nice move to the downside on this downgrade from Evercore ISI. Inotiv also moving to the downside here, getting a downgrade from Jefferies Financial. And last but not least, Wrapped getting downgraded by Wolf Research. Couple names to keep an eye on here, guys.
I actually don't recognize any of those names.
And there it is right now. Dollar Club right there on AMC. Thank you, Sharif, again. Let's do it one more time. There it is. Right now, Dollar Club starting on AMC. We still have 50% right now of the position, and it is starting to go. So there we go, man. It is really, really going. I mean, I choose AMC today. A little bit less dollar value there. Easy, so easy. Yesterday we came in on GameStop. We were long at the exact same time. It was P&L number one. Let's see if AMC could do the same thing. The problem is like it's going to move. It's already moving a heck of a lot. I mean, this is already quite a nice move up. But the idea here is how far can we go? And I mean, when you're going to be looking at AMC again here today, we saw GameStop, I think that $42 level we were talking about, and then it hit $80. You know, I mean, I mean, we're going to have to zoom in, but you know, other than that, there's not a whole bunch here when you're looking at an AMC. I mean, we can go over any kind of a chart, like a weekly chart, something like that, to have a little bit of a better view of what this might look like. I mean, there's nothing like that level's $23 maybe right there. It's hard to look at it because it was split so many times and stuff. So, but that's 22, 23 maybe right there. I mean, the next level after that, 36, 37. But where you've come from, right? So it's not. You have to consider the move up on what AMC's been doing here over the last couple days. I mean, everything started at. What did GameStop start at? $8, something like that. So, you know, the fact that you're now on GameStop touched 80 this morning and now $70, where this name's come from. There it is. Yeah, what was it 8? No, 11, sorry. It started at,
it was like 10,
yeah, let's call it, yeah, $10, $11. So let's say 7x right now from where it's at. So AMC started at, you know, just yesterday basically. But even if you're going to say $3, so 3 times 7, if you go 7x, I mean, you can't really do this, but that, I don't know where my chart is, but that would put it back to, yeah, that chart crashed. So that would put that back then to 21, which is that top. So I don't know. If you were mooning it, I could see it. But right now, man, we are really starting to go now again, man. We'll just, we'll hit the dollar club again. I'm going to open up that chart that crashed, but we're starting to go here today. It's already that day, and it's 8:55.
I know, and AMC is leading the charge. I mean, yesterday it was weird because GameStop was the one that was leading it. I almost said GameMC. But at the end of the day, I came in thinking it was going to be, I know, don't cancel me. No, I don't give a damn. GameStop, I thought this might be the charge leader, especially off that open. But if you're looking for moon levels, it's $85, I think, is what you're talking about here. Like, it gets past that price with an 80 double top, and things start to get really hairy. But it's interesting that GameStop, relatively speaking, it wasn't really moving the same way. When AMC was dipping, I'm thinking, okay, you're going to be able to get something in front of the even, like that $60 level on GameStop, and then play into those highs. That just never materialized. If you're looking at them side by side, this is kind of what I was getting at when that started coming down in here. It's like, okay, you're going to be able to get this second salvo in the VWAP, and GameStop just kind of held higher and now starting to move.
Look at this.
I think you got to be very, very careful playing these ancillary names. These are the ones to go to. I remember like I said, I remember the last time this happened, and the day 2 second gap up play, if it fails the high, you can halt into the downside. I like halt entries. It's not for everybody, but I like playing off of halt levels when I get the opportunity to, and I kind of salivate. If this gets up to 80, it takes nothing to halt it down. And if it bounces off a couple of halts, that can be an easy trade. I'd stay away from cost, but I think a few people have said they really like cost. It doesn't have the same short float. That's the thing that scares me about that one. If anything, I think that can be a fade. I'm not taking any top breaks. Everything is going to be dip buys unless it's Novavax.
All right, we just covered some here at $12, Sharif. Long 10, out to 12, 20%. Let's wait to see what winds up happening right now, as we will take a little piece off there at $12. I mean, we're all, like I was mentioning, today we had yesterday we had a monster day, and today we're trying to get ready for that. But now we only have a little. We don't have a little piece. We do have a little piece, but we did take a piece off there at $12. So right there, as Neil was talking, we were trading. That got out. So there it is, $12. Nice little out right there. Good morning so far for AMC and the like.
Holo, microcloud hologram, actually has its own news this morning, but another one with a decent short percentage just popping up here, starting to get going as well. So, I mean, if this is the first time you're seeing this type of price action, expect there to be some rotation. You'll see one pop up, and then it'll die off, and another one will pop up, and then it'll die off, and so on throughout the day. So another one here, 340, just getting tested once again here for this microcloud hologram.
Yeah, well, it's a good look, Brendo. Should I mention some others? Because there's some good ones here. We got BlackBerry. BB is back in business, Brendo, up 26%. We got Tupperware running nicely. I traded this one on the show yesterday, up a cool 35.8% at pre-market highs at the moment. Syra, I don't know what this is. SYRA also up 35%. There's a lot running, so keep them all in mind. Even HKD is running from 2022 up 18%.
I mean, you sound surprised by that.
I know.
I'm not sure why. Just double checking on BYND is 42%. So Beyond Meat, just another one. It's probably one of the higher ones at this point as far as short percent is concerned. 980 was that level in the pre-market, about to get tested here again. Volume very high on the relative scale as well across the board here. As I was saying earlier, volume very, very high this morning.
Ridiculous amount of volume. Should we?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, guys. For those who are interested in non-meme related stocks, we're going to look at some futures. Here's the ES. We closed out at the exact same level that we closed at the day prior, 52.46. We're still using 52.50 as a level of resistance, even though we broke above it yesterday. So let's say if we hold on to 52.50 and reclaim it, then 52 and a third, or 2/3, excuse me, at that 62 level, that's a double top from Friday and yesterday to the downside. Let's say 52.25 as that support.
Also keep in mind, 10 o'clock going to be important this morning. Yep, Fed Chair Powell takes to the microphone at 10 a.m. over in Amsterdam at a banking event there. So I didn't really see much indication as far as what he is going to be talking about or what the topic will be, but never doubt Mr. Powell to throw in some curveballs if he has the opportunity to. I just did that thing where you shake a window on your screen and everything minimizes. So
In there.
There we go. You do it again and it all comes back. How about that? Yeah, people are already talking about Dogecoin here, possibly the first crypto to start going on this as well. Here we go again. It is meme season. If we throw the board up there, we can get going on some of these and dissect a few of them.
Absolutely, Brendo. Let's have a look at what these ones are doing. Guys, yesterday we at short sellers got blown out for about $2.5 billion. That's the valuation so far for the squeeze. Today, I expect a little bit more. As we mentioned, a whole bunch of names running. If you don't have a scanner, get a scanner so you can see what percentage gappers are up on the day. That's how you'll be able to follow them.
Yeah, one of the takeaways, I remember last time this happened was just what I was saying earlier, in that expect there to be a rotation throughout the day. You'll see odd names start to go and then die off, and then something else will pop up and then it'll die off. So it's going to be one of those days where having a plan will definitely be the key, guys.
Yeah, and I think that's you you hit the nail right on the head with that one. I do think that planning is very, very important on a day like today, and that's where we had Michael Noss on yesterday on, of course, everyone's favorite show, the Market Recap Show, where he talked all about the different scanners that they have at Trade Ideas, trying to find names that will move based on nothing. And they're the meme scanner. And it was just looking for short floats, looking for names that are oddly moving, right? And so that's what you're looking for, names that are going through average daily volume, like 500%, even now. You know, like AMC's done 109 million shares. Like, it's not hard to search for some of these names. That's why you're in the right spot right now, being here at Trader TV Live. As soon as this show is done at 9:30, we flip over and start bringing you guys live headlines as they start popping. Adara's gonna come up with saying, oh my God, Beyond Meat is now moving, or this is moving, and that is moving. My idea and my suggestion to everybody is, and from what I've seen, the best traders focus on fewer names, okay? So there's no way you're going to be able to trade AMC, Beyond Meat, GME, SPWR, and all that at once. All right? So you're going to have to find the one that you like to trade, and I don't think it matters which one you choose. There's going to be opportunities both ways, right? I think we talked about this. You've traded BlackBerry and AMC today?
Yeah, well,
I
pick one short and one long.
Right, so that's what I mean. Like, you're going to have to, because the thing is you don't want to be like, long BlackBerry but short AMC, and then all of a sudden, like, something happens, they both move with each other.
Oh, and here's,
by the way, wow, right now
by
we're
the way,
back.
like, I actually lost on AMC long, but that was my own fault. Like, we have multiple stop orders that we can use, one of which I can put in before I get in position. I elected, because it was a pre-market, to use a different one. So I'm like, let me get my stop in, and then I'm going to put my bid when the stock was trading above $9. It was trading at like $9.40 or $9.50. I threw my stop to get in, and it ran, before I could even get the bid out to go long, it ran the stop. And I had to instantly punch out of the short, because there's no chance I wanted that sucker short at $8.98. So I took that hit. I got some back on the long trade, and then went over to, when it turned, like, my play is I have like BlackBerry up and I have AMC and GameStop up. And then when I see those two curling, or if I see a halt down, it's like, it just hit. I didn't even get BlackBerry. It was breaking down. I didn't get it till like 393. I tried getting 98.99. I even tried getting some above. It was just, the bid was falling when the others went down, and then you short that. Like, this is not even going any higher at the end of the day. And it is what it is. But like Sean said, like, pick which one you like better. I kind of had my focus on GameStop because that's the one I hit at the open yesterday. But in terms of actual active trading, AMC gives you the benefit of not likely halting. And maybe the one that you want to fade, if there's a halt down, maybe it's cost. I don't know. I just like BlackBerry from yesterday. And it's got a big enough gap that there should be some moves to go around. And again, it comes down to a matter of preference at the end of the day. You know, like which one do you like? Which one speaks to you better? If you like GameStop, then by all means, you know, this is one that's going to be a bit of a bigger spread, more likely to halt. If you're looking to make halt plays, like a halt off of the open to the downside that say holds this level and then bounces back through 60, you go long to the halt bottom, like that's the kind of trade that I usually like, then GameStop's going to be your cup of tea. If you don't like halt trading or stocks that are going to halt, then I think AMC is probably going to be the one for you, because I'm expecting GameStop to halt a couple times like it did yesterday.
All right, on to, there is a few actual news stories floating around this morning. Alibaba, one of those downside here to start after reporting early this morning. 85.50 was that high in the pre-market. Doubt we'll see it today. We're at 80 bucks here trying to hold after. Baba earnings not good, to say the least.
No, not at all, Brendo. They were able to generate more revenue than the street was expecting, but profit took an absolute nosedive. Guys, they dropped 86% year over year at about 0.45 billion in net profit. The reason being, they're claiming anyway, a net loss from investments that they traded. Seems a little bizarre to me. Signs of recovery, their Taobao and Tmall revenue up 4%, customer management revenue up 5% year over year, and there's a $25 billion buyback program, but still a tough look.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth noting, yes, there's volume behind this morning, but any other morning, typically this would be much higher coming off their report. So a little bit light even, guys, on the volume side of things.
Yeah, you might see. There's going to be less day traders involved in plays like this today. So that's going to be the first thing to think about. So maybe temper your expectations in terms of maybe how these will trade. That said, I'm keeping it really simple on Alibaba. 70, this is previous resistance. This is previous bottoms at 77.5. There's this level, so 78. And then the 200 period moving average in the daily is at $79 and change. So that's this level in here, which is literally the bottom today. And then there's 77.5, 78. Baba gets down there and shows some kind of a bottom, I think I'll start scalp trading along that if nothing else is going on. But I'm not going to have any orders on this at the open because my eyeballs are going to be on. If GameStop doesn't halt at the open, so what? But if it does halt at the open and there's an opportunity and I miss it, then I'd rather miss out on Alibaba. And if it does go right down into that support and catches a bid, so be it. Bit disappointed. I didn't think the numbers were all that bad. Their commerce sales were actually pretty good. But there's no such thing as bad earnings. There's just what the market decides to do with it at the end of the day.
Yeah. Feel by strong using summers. I mean, I haven't looked into this too much here today. Look, I'm long down here at 71 or 72 lately. Obviously disappointed. We had a 4%, 5% move yesterday, so we give it all back here today. That definitely sucks. I feel like on a different day, I would have been probably all over this, but honestly, today, I'm just going to do the exact same thing. Alibaba on earnings, and what I mean by like any other day, I don't think earnings days are the right day to be actively trading a stock. I think maybe the couple days after earnings, you can sort of settle down, figure out where some key levels might be. But this is not a good report. It's down 5%. So as Neil mentioned, I think you just trade the price action. So short down here at 81.20, something like that. Yeah, Rob said he was going to get them, but I don't know. He's in a meeting, so then I would love to take one. GameStop and AMC are already going crazy here, Randy. AMC up. I mean, of course, you bought some stock yesterday, up 114%. So congratulations on that, Randy.
Randy, which one closes higher percentage up today? AMC. There you go.
There we go. Great minds think alike. I like that, Randy. So I don't know why you're thinking like me then.
The George.
Right now, but yeah. So for me, Alibaba just back to VWAP, same kind of stuff. Let's just see how it trades around there. I feel like that's the best play for earnings is let it settle down early, try to find where all the buyers are or sellers and trade off of that. And that's exactly why and how I use VWAP. So that's what I'm going to be doing, trading with that. Disappointing, obviously, for shareholders, but it was the same. It's just like if you close your eyes, you would think today was Monday morning because it's just back to where it was yesterday. So let's see what happens. It does suck, but we'll see if we can get a move higher after a couple days.
All right, this meme stock move today, brought to you by our friends over at Blue Chew. Guys, remember the good old days when you were always ready to go? Well, those days don't have to be over. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in convenient chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. BlueChew.com. Use the promo code TraderTV. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers. You'll receive your prescriptions discreetly delivered right to your door within days. No awkward doctor's visits. No waiting in line at the pharmacy. Try Blue Chew free. Pay $5 shipping. BlueChew.com. Promo code TraderTV. Google has their event today. Doubt it'll matter, but
Not
worth
with
keeping
this
an eye
meme
on.
stock stuff going on. Quite frankly, look, what we're looking to find out here is the next iteration of Gemini. So Gemini has been released. It had issues initially with, wokeness or whatever, and it was fixed a little bit. So now we're going to have to see, number one, how they're going to mesh that in with their biggest product, which is search. Observers have been really worried about search being, completely outdone by this LLM. So we'll have to keep eyes on that. We'll also get updates to their Android 15. I know that you're going to be excited about that.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see exactly what is going to be added onto the new phone.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying you've been using Gemini a little bit more of late, and maybe there's already been some improvements as far as the back end.
And I got to tell you, Brendo, every time I enter kind of very similar information, a week or two apart, I get different results. So you can tell that they're definitely making iterations.
Yeah. I just saw an interesting headline. Skechers, SKX, announcing a global footwear partnership with John Deere. Getting into the work boots side of the world, I guess, for Skechers. SKX for that. But yeah, not much action here so far on Google.
I mean, why not get comfortable work boots? It's not that crazy, but yeah, good for them. I mean, I haven't pulled up Skechers. I'm probably not going to. Alphabet at 1 o'clock. Just pay attention. Like, there was a big move yesterday on the OpenAI didn't actually have a name for their thing yesterday, so the OpenAI thing, and it was to the upside for Google, despite the fact that it's competition. So I'm bullish on Alphabet today. On a normal day, I'd probably be like dip buying at the open at like 167 into these levels, or at the 166. I'd probably have a stop order to look for a long at 170. But I feel like the momentum names today will be more of a, let that opening range play out, with maybe the exception of an AMD. I think I still like that at 151. But yeah, let it play out. I am bullish overall on Alphabet, and I'm looking for longs. I think at 1 o'clock, unless you're deep in the money, we want to be careful around there. That event's going to cause a spike in the stock. So you trade with a stop in the afternoon. I don't think you have to worry about it too much till then. It'll likely trade normally. Not a lot of pre-market volume here on Alphabet to be concerned with. So I like some of the levels in there. Like I said, that 167 and 170 does look like a good break. We mentioned that in the afternoon show. But no orders out for me. Not on a day like today. I know at 9:30, like I said, if these stocks halt, they halt, and I want to be kind of ready for that. Just in case. Because if I see it halt down, I want to try to take a short. I'm talking about GameStop. I want to take a short in BlackBerry, and then when it opens back up, I want to see if I can get a long off a bottom. And you can't be doing that when you're dip buying Alibaba, and like we normally do, and dip buying Google. Then I'm getting filled on AMD to the upside in the same moment. It's all normal, and that's a normal day, but this isn't a normal day. So.
No, exactly. Google. So yeah, this signal is going to be out in 1 second. It's just a brief one here. By the way, we're now going, AMC is going to try to break 12 again here, where we last got out at. So, I mean, that was an absolute monster again here for that. So, I just wrote down, let's just watch Google. The event's going to be 1 p.m. I'm feeling pretty bullish about it. Like Sharif just mentioned there's going to be a lot of, new things they're going to talk about. I feel pretty positive whenever you're talking about AI. Google's been the leader in AI, for a minute. Google, Microsoft, they're all have to be excited about it, right? So we'll see. The market definitely buying everything back up here. I feel like tech is supposed to be leading the way, and Google will help do that. Obviously, on the daily, we've bounced off this 165. I still like this 170, 150 area. But we're really we're over the moon here today with some of this trading. So yeah, let's just go back to the desk. 15 more minutes to go until we really get going. We're $1.50 in the money on AMC. Only one trade today, and it's a reload position. So I don't, you know, so far so good. We'll try to stay in the pocket here.
Yeah, lots of places to look this morning. I was just checking out Robinhood popping up there again. I mean, one that could benefit from all of this action.
No question.
HOOD, as I mentioned, SKX, there's a little spike, but comes right back. BYND, 20% to the upside. Yeah, even Beyond Meat tested $10 there out of the gate this morning in the pre-market, has come off a little bit. But, I mean, this is one of the higher ones as far as short percent is concerned.
Yeah, guys, watch out shorting this. If it starts to move 40% short sale, this could absolutely skyrocket. 40% of the float is shorted. But why wouldn't it be up 20% when they've dropped 15 consecutive quarterly losses in a row? Yeah, you'll recall that they dropped 18% in sales last time around. They reported their Q1 earnings. So, you know, no fundamental reason for this company to go, but this is a trade. Look at it that way.
Just noting, oil just fell $1 there on pretty high volume. There was an OPEC Plus headline suggesting they're going to have another look at output, again, specifically for OPEC Plus. So oil just went 79 down to 78, holding there at this point.
It doesn't get any spicier, my guy.
You're probably not going to watch oil today. Look, I'll give you an example. I took a break on Beyond Meat yesterday in the afternoon. It was like an 8 or 9 cents worth of risk. It has a million short, whatever the massive short float is. It went like 20 cents or so and then didn't really continue. And the volume on Beyond Meat, if you come to the chart here quickly, like the gap up is huge, but this was gearing up for a big break in the afternoon. It barely even moved. It was good, like you don't lose on the trade. And if it does a similar thing today, I'm a little bit skeptical on it that it can go as much as these other ones. Like AMC's already starting to moon. GameStop not so much, but AMC's already in a moonshot mode, and Beyond Meat's barely even going here. That's got to be the differentiator. That SPRW or whatever it was, at least that's moving. And we'll get the plug in a second, but Beyond Meat, just got to see some volume come through on this. It was disappointing taking that breakout because the way I saw it, the way everything else was going, when I had that break in the afternoon, I was expecting it to take the second level and get into that $9 if it was truly going to be a volume squeeze. And that just never happened. Volume was there. It's not necessarily there this morning. You're just in the wrong place if you're looking at this one. You're actually in the wrong place if you're looking at GameStop as well. I mean, that's barely, again, it's barely even moving, and it's just AMC continuing to go higher and higher and higher. Ignore these wicks up at the top on AMC. It is a double top at 13. This is the double top. This is a dark pool wick. If it gets up there, essentially it was there for just a couple of minutes up at AMC. It was never really there this time. So this is going to be a new test at those highs. Let's see if it can punch through. I'm not taking any of these other names. If they're going through highs. It's just too risky because Beyond Meat's the kind of thing that'll fall down way too fast on you. I think it'll be at least reasonable for a bounce play on AMC and GameStop, which is still hovering around 70.
All right, we'll touch on Plug Power, just reading through some of the details here for this deal. I mean, Sharif and I were just discussing this. I mean, the company as of the close yesterday was a $2.15 billion market cap, and they just secured $1.6 billion in funding from the U.S. government, essentially, to come through. So this thing takes back the entire range here on the daily chart. We're set to open 475, it looks like right now, just below $5. So, I mean, 280, 275 yesterday, right through to $5. Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely possible if you're up 65% in the pre. So look what they're doing here. They're looking to basically build on their technology using these hydrolyzer machines. It's a New York-based company, but they have areas all over the country where they build out these hydrogen facilities, and that's exactly what this is all going to be. It's not new, Brendo. They received money a few months ago, and really nothing came of it, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, look at the daily chart. This thing's done nothing since the end of last year. And oh yeah, it is also 27.5% short as well.
Plugs lined up nice.
It's now $2 in the monies right now for AMC as we continue to go higher. But I just sat down, so I heard Plug is nice.
Well, look, Plug's got a triple top, 200 period, basically everything set up for a breakout. If the shorts if it gets through 525, Yeah, I like the quarters just because it's 519 as a random price. If it gets through the quarters, then you've got a lot of room to rally. The fact that it has news is even a little bit better as well. So you got to like it here in Plug. It's giving you that little stair step. Even into VWAP here at 420, I mean, give me a break. If VWAP is going to set up at 420 on a day like today, that's a reasonable area to dip by. So I do like this. I have an order for Novavax, and I'm actually moving it over to Plug because let's quickly show you what NVAX is doing. Like NVAX, not really doing anything right now. You're seeing it basically go sideline. So if it makes the break, it makes the break. Plug Power, I think if you're looking at something that isn't AMC or GameStop, it just kind of sets up better for me. VWAP in here at that 420. If it gets through the 5.25, I think that's the kind of like smash level. The good thing about a breakout is if it doesn't go, you don't have to take it. And if it does go, immediately scalps them out and then try to hold. Breaks to me resolve themselves really quickly. Otherwise, you don't need to be in them for that long. So Plug Power definitely on that radar. I didn't read too much into the news. Make sure you check out the watch list if you're into that. But all you need is some kind of a catalyst when you got the short float today.
Yeah, we're a name that we just put on the sticky note as well is going to be Palantir. So former meme name as well. So it only has 4 or 5% short because, it's going to be added to the S&P 500. There's lots of talk about Palantir all the time. Obviously a highly traded name, but not really moving around yet. Wow, this AMC, guys, like, just in what we've done here today, might be good enough, to be where we need to be. But honestly, let's just see how high this one can grow. I mean, congratulations, Chef Joe. Congratulations, everybody that's trading with me here on AMC and GME and costs and all of that. Like, despite us talking about all of it, you got to have these positions on. And for those of you guys that have it on, congratulations, because it does take something, definitely some sort of, whatever it is to get in here and trade this. So congratulations to all of you, because this is not easy trading for sure. It's very, but I like Palantir. So Palantir right now, dip buy opportunities. We see this bottom here at $20.50. So if something does happen, that's where we'd like to get long. I'm bidding $20.70. I think that would be a really good opportunity there as well. And then just looking for a breakout, I wrote down like 21.25, but that's just kind of like this level. I'm not 100% sure about that. The much better break is up here at 21.80. So with the kind of day that we're having, that is a very good possibility to get back up there. So, all right, here we go. So what color Lambo would everybody be choosing? Hamster wants to know. Yeah, I'm just gonna probably just go with I like Sharif's blue. I might go with a black one just because that's how I roll,
Matte
Like,
black.
I never thought coming from the
Matte
streets
black.
of Brampton I'd be able to be sitting here and doing all of this. So I think we'll go black on black, exactly like that. So that's a little bit of Rick Ross there, black on black. We're gonna get going on that one, and then we're gonna be driving around MIA. So get ready for everybody in Miami when Trader TV Live comes to Miami, baby. As soon as Neil's gonna be organizing our trip, and that is gonna be sick.
Vegas first.
Let's go, Neil.
Vegas first.
Vegas.
Baby. Vegas first.
go.
I got to get to Vegas at some point. Let's get to the Blue Lambo man himself, Sharif.
Guys, we're talking about moving average crossovers all week. Adara and I on the How to Trade show. Today, specifically, we're talking about choosing the right moving averages for crossovers. So catch that with her and I at 11.
There you go. And yeah, I mean, look, obviously we talk about these the fundamentals of trading. I don't think you're going to moving average crosses. I like them on daily charts every now and then for my long term, but just be careful getting too technical on some of these meme stocks. Right? Like it's fine if it's conforming to something like holding VWAP, or you get a little buy zone, you read the tape, you have a bit of a bid, and it confluences with something else that you like, then go for it. Like 420 happens to also be VWAP in here. Great. It also happened to break out on plug at that price. So yes, then I do like in front of VWAP for those reasons. Just make sure you're not getting too out in front and sort of predicting that all your old strategies are going to work. We haven't mentioned Reddit today. Obviously, Reddit has a little something to do with this, with Roaring Kitty obviously starting there. It's a breakout as well. It's worth watching. I know a lot of people are looking at Reddit and thinking this is a more stable type of play because there's a business that maybe can sustain some of this a little bit better. Yeah, that looks really good. If it holds above 60, I think that's something that can be tradable. It's not going to do the kind of volume that these other names for multiple entry points are going to give you. So just be careful with that. Still have 5 minutes to go, so there's plenty of time to run. We haven't talked as much about GME.
Yeah, why were we in such a rush today?
Well, it's weird. Like, I feel like we chewed right through that really fast because there isn't, and I'm not going to take many fills on the big
Today's
cap
a
names.
big day. For
but
what?
Someone was asking and saying
graduate?
the trades are very similar between AMC and GameStop. I just diverge. I don't think they're the same. GameStop has been pulling back while AMC is going higher. That's the thing that caught me. I just thought we'd be getting some dip buys at in the pre-market on GameStop. It is starting to come back in while AMC is about to take the high of the day. Plug just took the high of the day, and GameStop is coming down. So I'm still thinking there's a chance of that down halt on GME based on the way this is going.
We have 5 minutes, and I just heard the best thing probably I've ever heard on this floor, period. Right? And I turn over to Big Patty Ice, and he goes, let's go, let's go. And I go, where are you going? And then he goes to me, we're going to have a big day right here. And the thing is, he's like, I'm either going to graduate or that's it. And the thing is like, if you have an attitude of coming in here and not trying to actually make money, then it doesn't make any sense. Like, what's the point of sitting here and making $20? Right? Like you have to say, I've been trading long enough. I've seen these things, so let's go. This is a good opportunity to make money. Now you could also lose, but that's the point. You got to understand what level of trading you're at in your career. You know, when you're here, these are money-making opportunities. You know, and like this is go time. Everybody here in the chat is like, finally, and that's right. That's exactly right. Finally, we get this movement here. So you're on a prop floor, you're doing something like this. Now, again, you could get absolutely railroaded, but what's better, losing $1,000 here today or losing $1,000 but losing it $50 at a time? Ask the guys behind, ask everybody at Real Trading, and hopefully they'll give you the right answer. Brendan, over at the desk.
Just real quick, AWS CEO stepping down. So Amazon downside here, guys, on that again. AWS CEO stepping down.
It was weak yesterday. I remember at the open, Amazon and Meta kind of did that. If you're trading those names, they were really weak at the open yesterday. So I would just look out and be careful with both of those. Probably more so now Amazon on that light. Look, and the other thing too is I remember last meme round, the biggest trades it was right at the open. They were breaks and halt trades where people were just taking shots. And I'll never forget the day that GameStop halted like 8 or 9 times to the downside. Well, I forget the exact number. It was the day people could only go one direction, halted multiple times into the downside. And when it made that bottom, I was telling Sharif this, at the time, it then opened up, the first time it opened higher after like 8 straight down halts, you could punch costs through the bottom. Like it was like the easiest trade ever. The first even dollar level cost retook, and it was instantly in the money a couple bucks. GameStop then halted up, and it was free money punching any of the other following names. So it's little things like that. All right, we got like 2 minutes to go in here. GME is still kind of falling in. I'm anticipating a bit of it could happen, it couldn't happen. If it does dip into like the $50 level, it probably halts into that one. And I'll look for a quick short on BlackBerry if I can find it. But more importantly, if it halts down, I want any kind of a bounce off of a halt downside on GME. The imbalances have probably come out because it's 928. So for anybody interested, let's just go over Virgin Galactic and AMC, 800,000. Alibaba is a sell of 600,000, predictable. Plug Power's pull back off that high now. So maybe we'll get VWAP, 400,000 shares there, BlackBerry. I don't see GameStop on the imbalance locator, but all the other ones are there. And none of the big names. It's basically all meme names up at the top here on the locator. Not that those numbers mean anything on a day where they're chewing through volume the rate they are.
Yeah, ARM up to 116. AMD is going to be another level for us.
Oh,
but,
yeah, ARM 120.
AMD, sorry. Let's have a quick look. We're looking at 151 half right there, up to 152 where the 50-period moving averages possibly. There as a quick little out coming through for that. So, I mean, all right, so you know, when you're looking at a stock like this for AMC, if you just have to look back sort of yesterday, you know, right when we opened up, the volume came in here at 9:30. It was a move down, then a move up, then a huge move down into $3 before we started to go. So there is that dip down possibility. Yesterday off open, we dipped down about 20%. into this level at about 10 o'clock before obviously continuing the rest of the day. So if you dip down, you could get back into this $10 or so region there for AMC. So yeah, just be careful with everything. There's only 30 seconds to go right now. We're going to be really excited to sit here and trade, but we're going to try to make the right trades, right? So here we go. Get very, very excited here for AMC Day and the whatnot.
Absolutely, and let's get this party started. We've got Adara on the bell on this meme stock Tuesday. Apparently, Apple's making some moves. NVIDIA head to the downside for anyone interested in that. I just saw it in the chat. I actually have NVIDIA up, but I don't have Apple up right now. Let's get this party started. Remember, the New York stocks might not open right away. GameStop and AMC. In 2 and 1, ring it.
All right, thank you, Adara. So yeah, we'll wait. I don't think AMC's open yet. We're going to wait for that huge print
GameStop's not open.
To come through. Remember, on AMC. Okay, so we don't have that imbalance anymore. So did we open up? No, not yet. So we're going to wait to see. You're going to see a big spike.
GameStop's halting down.
Okay, so GameStop must be open. Look at AMC. AMC's tanking. There's that move that we talked about. So AMC on, like Neil said, on a halt down now for that. So I don't know, man. We tried to get some shorts there. Did you get anything? We tried to get some
I couldn't.
shorts.
Look, I couldn't get. GameStop halted right away. There was no chance. I'm telling you, look, if you're a robot, then you're whatever, like your data or insert Android here. I was able to go over and punch underneath VWAP on Best Buy, on BlackBerry, and I got 78s here. BlackBerry starting to tank. Remember I said the plan was going to be? It was very simple. If I saw a move to the downside, I was going to short on BlackBerry, and I was looking for some kind of a long bounce. Now, anticipating that they could halt down and come right back up, this is like a gimmicky trade where I don't necessarily want to hold the bulk of the position back into the open. So I'm kind of just crossing and taking most of this out. I'm now at like 75%. If GameStop continues to tank, then I'll be dead wrong getting all this out because it probably goes to 330. So the anticipation was that you would have a move into the downside. I could have been dead wrong about this, guys. But at the end of the day, there we go. So GameStop, the tap is
we're gonna halt up now.
60.38. You're gonna halt up on AMC.
Yep.
All right. Punching out. There we go. I just punched out and rang the register on BlackBerry. Again, this was just a plan of action. So assist to you, Sean.
There we go.
Because if you're gonna tell me AMC's halting to the upside, I just get right out of the BlackBerry short. Just take the money around and move on to the next.
Just real quick, like, we just got long on the halt now. So let's wait to see what happens. So I just want to show you what I did there. We went long on this VWAP, but then we got out because it looked like it was halting. It did not halt. It did not halt at whatever it was, 1080. So we just got in and out. I thought it was halting. It wasn't. I got out. Then it was halting to the upside, so I got back in. So the price right now is where the halt price is because we got in and out. So a little under that, $11.43. No idea where we're going to open. We could open a hell of a lot lower, and then it's rinse nation. But for right now, we're going to be on AMC. GME is halted as well. So both these names, guys, are both halted. GME at 63.50 and AMC upside at 11.50. So and the tap isn't changing. So we'll get on that when and if it does go through. Neil's BlackBerry is higher now as well, up to 372. So that's moving around. I don't want to forget about Carvana. I know we got to go over to Darren in a minute. Carvana up 5%. Okay, that makes sense. Let's go see the news from A.
Sorry about that. Another meme adjacent move to watch out for here. BIG, big lots, giving up some of this move right now, but up about 32%. Really strong volume, 25.7% short float, guys.
Yeah, so appreciate you there. Thank you very much, Adara. I'm out of BlackBerry just very quickly here. I don't know why. I have no idea why it shows me long. I'm not actually long BlackBerry at 365, although that would be a winning trade. But I got all of it out. We punched short the second GameStop went into that halt. And you saw me sort of actively getting out. 355 is the best price. I am not in that position, just to be clear to everybody. I covered that. I was trading into the pre-market. Sometimes that has something to do with it. So right now, AMC, flat tap of 11.48. GameStop,
They're all tapping the same, I think.
60.38 I have for GameStop, which would be down $3.
Yeah.
So, oh, no, never mind. These are bad dark pool prints. No, GameStop, it's down at 60.38. So if it opens up and it can hold 60 even, like that would be the retracement
Yeah,
trade
I don't know about that.
I'd be looking
Did we see
for.
those taps yesterday? I can't remember if they were
So
right
yesterday we weren't really seeing taps of any, like they weren't giving us an indication. Like the theoretical auction price would just be wherever it closed and then it would open where it opened. So it was useless as far as I'm concerned. Just in case you're wondering, NVIDIA down 1.3%. It just tagged $890 and is trying to bounce. So there are other things happening in the market. Obviously, the reopen for me on GameStop is going to be a little more important. Plug power, oh goodness.
Let's see, what's AMD?
That plug on that halt, I got off the bid of anything the second you're halting down on those meme names. That's an easy one. It doesn't hold 420, clearly with these halting all over the place. I think this one could calm down, maybe catch a bit of a bid, but I'll let it just settle itself a bit.
What the hell
I want to go
happened to
station
AMD?
to station here.
AMD got killed. Like AMD was my #1 trade idea to a short today, and the market's doing nothing, and AMD is getting killed right there to the downside. So I don't know what is going on here with advanced micro devices, but it just keeps on getting hit here today right now. So there goes AMD. 151.50 is what we wrote down because that's where we opened, but it's straight down right now for AMD. What is going on with it? Everything's halted right now. I mean, if there's other
NVIDIA's
names, I mean, we
tanking.
could look at costs maybe here to see what's going on with KOSS.
Tesla's
halted.
Moonshot Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla was a name that we had talked about yesterday with the memes, but again, yeah.
Whoa, GameStop's open.
Way lower,
Down.
way lower. Okay, so 59 and change right now for GME. So that's not going to be good for this AMC position, needless to say right now. But there goes, it's going to halt down again, is it maybe? There it goes, a nice little bounce back up for GameStop. 57, there's the halt price at 57. It's going to open low. It's going to halt lower, it looks like right now. Can it? Nope, it might not halt. It is.
Do it or don't do it.
It's going to now. Too big on that offer right now. It's not going to get through that. We're going to halt right there. It is now halted at 57. So we are going to be in trouble with this AMC trade for sure.
Why is no
So
GameStop
AMC is going to open in a minute because it halted just shortly after GameStop. So all right, I'm going to put out some more orders to get out on open here for AMC because it might be a disaster. So let's wait to see what happens now as downside. We don't have a lot of shares, but on halts, very, very risky. It would have been nice for GameStop to open higher because then we would have been like, oh, okay, AMC's a jam. But for right now, yeah, go ahead.
Before we go, I punched into again on BlackBerry, but it's not falling the same way it did before. So I'm just going to, make a bit of an adjustment. I'm going to get half of this out. The first time through, it was like a very, very clean move. You got like a 10% move down. It's moving like 3 or 4 cents, which doesn't make any sense to me. AMC just opened as well. It looks like it's headed back into the downside. And okay, so it's down at 1050.
All right, we're going to get out. We're going to hold 20% of AMC here. All right, it's halting the other way.
It's going to halt as well.
Right now. We'll take it short. Nope. Okay, it does not halt.
Ooh,
I was
fake
taking
halt.
it short and then the fake halted. Man, this is a hell of a lot of fun right now. All right, we'll go short again here at 45 on AMC and see if we can get something printing here for us. What's up, Adara? Oh, and there it goes right back up. What's up, Adara?
I found a story on AMD here, getting a price target cut from Evercore ISI to 200, 190, from 200 to 193. Nothing huge here, but could be a little bit of explainer for that move down in advanced micro devices, guys.
It's wild. So
I went short on AMC there. Now it's bouncing around. This is like
AMC is there's so much liquidity going back and forth in either direction that it gets to a halt band and they're just breaking it in the other direction. So you got to be real careful. I'd like it to resolve higher because I was looking for bounces. I was covering some of my BlackBerry got back down to 360. Again, that was the plan of action. If these things go down, AMC and GameStop, I was going to short BlackBerry wherever the hell it happened to be in that moment, and that's all we've done twice. GameStop will open back up in like a minute or two. It's hard to tell because we have these deep prints going off, so I can't really look at the time and see. But we should be open up in GameStop. That should provide a little bit of clarity to what's going to happen here with AMC. It's just dancing all over the place at this moment. Hasn't really retested that 10 level. 1050 looks like it's kind of good. But there's some profit taking coming in here. And I think if you short, like if you go long, I should say, GameStop halted to the downside. If you go long here, you're risking the fact that GameStop could halt down one more time.
all right, so people aren't going to like me because I'm short AMC. I understand that.
Happened to NVIDIA?
But right now, We're going to go short because of GameStop is to the downside. We'll see where it opens. There's another print for us. It's only 20 cents. We've been getting in and out of it. It really, like Neil said, it's kind of been a nightmare just to sit here and wait to see what's going to happen because I don't really know what's going to happen. We may halt the other way. Yesterday, I feel like my best trade, looks like, oh, we were maybe thinking about halting there again. It looks like the best trade yesterday was Robinhood. We talked about going long at 1680 yesterday on Robinhood. And I mean, now it's 1830 with a pretty clean move again here today. So that name, okay, here we go. AMC's halting.
Halting down.
Looks like it wants to try to halt down. So we'll get rid of some of our bids right now. Nope, and there it goes back up to the upside. So I'm still bidding 10. Like I'm at 10.12 right now to the downside to get something out. This was its last halt, and now it's reset. So this allows it to come back in. We should get our 12s. And we're bidding 12, and look where it's stopping. Okay, we get 12s. So there's a nice move down in for AMC. So we're now short at 10.50. Let's wait to see. We flipped up our game on this one, man. We were obviously long. I feel bad because I know there's a lot of people that are trading this one to the north side. Okay, but these halts to the downside really gave a lot of us an opportunity to understand what was happening, and hopefully we're able to get out of it. So now there it is. Now we're halted to the downside.
Oh, cost already halted.
Yeah, cost. Everything's halted.
Whoa, cost is halted at the high. It just opened up lower.
Yeah, there it is. So yeah, about being open at the high.
Okay, yeah, about that. Come on,
God.
cost. Give me.
I might just put out a market on open order at like 10 1/4 or so for AMC, just in case we don't get too spicy there. So we'll wait to see where this goes right now. GME closed. At KOS is open. Neil's on it. GME, I don't know when exactly it halted because, like Neil said,
dark pool print.
unfortunately we're printing everything on here.
cost.
These aren't supposed to be allowed to go off. So whatever dark pool is printing these one shares will probably, nothing will probably happen to them, but they're not supposed to print those.
What you can always do is you can simply just go to the NASDAQ trade halt page. If you're
The NASDAQ's taking out highs right now, by the way.
Yeah, like if you just look at it here, like you'll see like the time that it halted. GameStop is going to open up in a matter. It should open up any second now. I see a 9:36 halt, which should mean 9:41 and change. This should open back up. Occasionally it'll be a 10-minute halt, but there it is.
GameStop is open,
It's
way
just
lower.
Open and way lower. Way lower.
$52
Way
GameStop.
lower.
But get ready, man. I mean, it's going
50,
to get.
if 50
did it
holds,
touch 50? I think it might have. Did it?
50
No.
holds.
It might have touched 50. Yeah, 51 or so. So here we go. So there it comes. Now it's coming back in. Watch out for a tank through $50 right now on GameStop. It's trying to hold, and there it goes. Nice hold there on GME. Nice hold at 50. Now back up to 52. Can we see 53 on the schedule here for GameStop? But again, a name that was at $75, $80 pre-market, definitely coming back in. The day was here for GameStop, but right now it's $49.50. It ain't holding anything. I know you gave that a try.
I took my shot. I said
you actually didn't get lumped up that bad, man. That's a good one. That's a good hit, honestly.
I was in the money like $1.50, but I was thinking $55 on that, and now it's going down again. Oh my goodness! You got to get out. I had to stop at the $50 level no matter what
AMC.
in that particular situation. I got to go back over to cost because I punched at a cost the second GameStop was opening back up, and that's back at the highs. All right, forget about it. Hold on a second. BlackBerry, there's cost right there. I punched at a cost and was like, forget about it. And then all of a sudden, GameStop did that nonsense. I knew I was taking a long shot at the first level that was going to hold. But I want to try getting the cost. I'm still in that BlackBerry trade, but that's just chilling at the bottom. I'm just going to hold that as long as we're in this down move. See if I can't get picked up on the offer of cost. So they're unwinding it very quickly, and apparently Novavax is trying the highs, says Mr. Long Shorts. I was going to take that break.
Those are some long-ass shorts.
That was the break. That was the Novavax break. We said we'd be trading other names at the open. Novavax break was clean through $14.25. Look how clean that is to $15. Remember, Novavax actually has news which can sustain its squeeze. That's a little bit different here because it's fundamental play as well. Let's go to Adara.
We have the foreign bankers answering out of it beginning. Currently, speaker introducing everyone. Not sure if Powell is set to speak right yet. He is scheduled to speak at 10, but just to be where he is currently in the process of being introduced. We also do have Microvision here. NVIS up about 32%. This one gapped down a couple days ago on earnings. Does have a short float of about 25.3%. So NVIS on watch. If I hear anything coming out of Fed Chair Jerome Powell and the FBA event, I will let you guys know.
New position. Thank you so much for that, Adara. Honestly, I'm not focused on anything really other than the obvious here. But I am in another position because I was like, okay, you know what? We got to just go back to our bread and butter, and that is trading the big cap NASDAQ stocks. We're still waiting for AMC to open. Like, I don't know. We're short at 10.45. I'm expecting right now the tap is 10. So that's at least a 5% win right there. Hopefully we can get back in. I have one part of my order. So I have like 10% to get out on open. And then we'll just wait to see what happens from there. But it looks like AMC, unfortunately, guys, is starting to go to the downside. I wrote down here 150. So we're in this one now because the market really started to rip. And we have Fed speak. We don't have too much in the way of economic numbers, I believe. And if you're looking for that, man, I tweeted out, it's also on our watch list, .tradertv.live. We actually just have Fed Powell, that's what it was, my bad, at 10 o'clock. I was like, I know there's something at 10. But yeah, he's coming at 10 o'clock. So that'll be a big one for us, needless to say. So now I feel a little stupider than normal because here goes AMD trying to go back up. We're short at 150.30. It's just a small position because I'm just waiting for AMC to open up here and trying to like trade what I thought would be good. But again, the NASDAQ on what was a hot PPI number, like if CPI comes hot tomorrow, this is not going to happen. Oh, geez, wow, okay. AMC, talk about a net blow up right now. We are now $1 in the money. The other way to the short side right there. Now, as we're short AMC at $10.45. That might have been the bottom there. I don't know. Let's put a bid just in case we miss it. Oh, God.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Right now we're in the money about 15% to the downside off of a 10.45 short. We loaded this short up right there. Unfortunately, it went against us a little bit, so we did get some out, but there it comes back in. It is a disaster morning for some of these meme stocks, needless to say, guys. But there it is right there. We're fine. We're actually losing on AMD, which is the problem. But there comes AMC to the downside. It's a short for me right now. We were long in the pre. You guys saw that. Then you can't see it right now, but there it is. There's the short on the halt. It went up, and we got a piece out. I told you that. It went out to VWAP right there. Piece out, but then holding now as here it goes, Neil.
It's halting down again.
Yeah, we're watching it, man. This is $1. You want to – I know there's a lot of people that are in this long, so I actually – probably shouldn't be firing off the hot dog cannon,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. We're professional day traders, honestly, and it's just like we trade for the day. So this could be the bottom. Like I don't know where it's going, but there it is again, man. We're short. We're in the money, $1.52. I hope you guys just saw like. Remember when we got out there? I said we had like 20% left. Well, you know, we were able to take advantage of that and then be able to flip our short over. So far, so good there. AMD is really starting to go. So we're getting near that 51.50. Like, I just got to say to AMC, what's up with that? As that continues to go higher right now. So 51, like 151.70 or something, we're going to have to get out. AMD is on something. And you know what?
But NVIDIA broke 900, but it's pulling back in.
It's I just want to say something because I think, Neil, honestly, shorting some of this chip names.
I'm not long BlackBerry, by the way.
Okay.
Just so everyone knows.
Shorting the chip names into the Google event is pretty risky because Google could come out and announce that they just bought a crap ton of all of this stuff. So
yeah, I'd be careful with
that. Now that I'm thinking about it.
GameStop's open and down at 46. So look, I went over and went back into the short on cost at 90s. I just got some out 75. I just got some out 560. Looking to hold on to that. And for BlackBerry, just for everybody, I was trading it pre-market. I know that sometimes screws our system up, because it'll start taking, like, when we turn it on, I'm covering a short, so it kind of thinks I'm always in a long position when we turn it on. So I am still holding this short, but I just had the last little bit. I'll probably throw it down here at like 325. The plan of action was to short the other names if the move started going into the downside, but GameStop is catching a little bit of a bid here. Oh, there it goes, back through 50. If it can get back up through 50, it's got a chance. I'll probably punch out a cost wherever it lies if this thing can hold above $50. But then it gets right to $50 and reverses back down. So I'm going to hold on to the shorts that I've got on. And remember, when you're day trading, like you're just playing the momentum, whatever it happens to be. And in this particular case, the momentum was the downside. I tried my shot. You knew what I was going to do. I said if we halt down a couple times, I'll look for the first up move and try and grab it. So I did try that on GameStop and took the hit. But the other shorts have been pretty good. Obviously, we can't lie about that. Costs, I might catch another bid down here. I'm bidding in the 20s. I should be somewhere in front of the 40s. Be a little more reasonable there. And as I said, BlackBerry, I am in the short position. We also have some other movers. I understand everyone is also looking at things like Tesla. Tesla up 3% and running. It's not to be all meme crazy, but you know what's up when these things start going. Tesla is breaking out the top. There's your 175. That's a traditional breakout trade through 175, and it looks like it's pretty well sustained here. So yeah, kudos to anyone long Tesla. Looks fantastic. GameStop's going to try this 50 again. What's going into an up halt?
Oh,
All right,
nope.
I'm going to, no,
Nope,
it doesn't.
cancel,
Oh, I went
scratch
for
that.
it. I went for it, and it does not halt. I took another shot at GameStop on the up halt, and it was like instantly in and out. So I've got 0 for 2 looking for bottoms on GME. That was the plan of action for me today at the open. I was going to look for that down move. Sorry, I'm still on the Tesla chart for you guys. I went over to trade it first. So I'm in here, grabbed it. I actually thought I had a pretty decent entry price. If you're trading this stock and I can find myself overlapping my ins and outs, then we're kind of staying in the pocket because I want one shot that I'm holding from one move into an upward halt. Like my plan would be to get it on some kind of a push up and still have it if it halts to the upside. So I'm looking for at least $4 or $5 or that kind of a move. Adara?
Keep an eye on Roku here. This one up about 7%. Late yesterday was reported that it's land exclusive rights to MLB Sunday leadoff. Also today announcing that it's going to be its CFO is going to be presenting at Needham's Tech Conference tomorrow. So ROKU, short float of about 9.4%. Keep an eye on this one, guys.
Is now that Sunday
I punched
thing.
that long yesterday on the news and nothing happened.
It's not like a morning show. It's actually the earliest Sunday game, like multiple times in the year. So essentially, it's like you basically get that game.
Yeah, I
oh,
figured
come
that's
on. Now you can't. Now I'm not going to get it.
You don't want this halt, I don't think, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Long?
This is look. If it breaks,
right.
it breaks.
You got it, right?
You know what I did?
There you go, you got it.
No, but the first time I put it all on one gateway and took the fill.
Yeah.
This time I'm like I'll put half on 2 gateways and see if I don't get both, just to make sure that I get in. I got the I think I got the edge A.
Okay, good.
There. So I'm in the halt. Now the plan here was like first halt up. I'm not going to take anything out at the open. If it opens up flat, that'd be $50. So like you get into like 55 and it likely would halt again. So I want to hold that first half into like a 55. And if it halts up, hold the other portion to wherever it happens to go. With that up halt, I have a trail on costs, but it seems more prudent to just take it out. Right? So if we're shorting costs at 590, and we get some out there. I got some 70s, I got some 60s, and we go into an up halt on GameStop. I'm just going to punch out there. BlackBerry is a totally different story.
We got that fill on open. AMC's now open.
Yeah, BlackBerry is just going to probably continue to go to the downside. They're nonsense. AMC's halting up.
Looks like it's trying to. So we're out there now. We'll try to get long. We're long on AMC right now.
Got it?
We're lucky because we're there as soon as it happens. So
I'm way too late. Way too late.
We're long now. It might false. Oh, I thought it was false breaking. Did you get it? Now it's broken.
Not really.
Okay.
Oh,
you got some. Okay, so we're both in.
Multiple.
Okay, well, we're both in. We're both in. So let's see what happens here. Right now, as we are both now in on this is actually not. It's not a very smart move again, I feel like now. Because like taking the AMC, so we covered and got out. So let's first of all spin the money for the short. Now we might be going long. 100% now, because if GameStop wants to open up long, then we've got it. The only thing is I'm throwing away everything because AMD is up to 152. We're getting out on a 152 break. So we're short here. There it goes.
Sorry.
We were short at 150, 150, kind of where we wanted to be short. Let me put on, we just might have got taken out there and then back in. So we only got out to 75% up there. Let me put another stop at 152, like 11. The problem was I was so very distracted with GameStop there that I just put in a 152, but that's okay. We're short. Actually, we did not get back short into AMD. But we'll try it again here. There it goes back down in. I mean, our price was like 151.40 something. So really, it's not been a great trade there. We'll get stopped out. Look, it did come back in. We were able to get some out, but there's the 152 break. And we'll hold 25% of it to see if we can get it back down to the downside in case that just ran stops up there. But yeah, what a day so far. Where's my NASDAQ chart? Some of my charts are just like randomly closing here today.
There's a little extra volume going on in this market if you hadn't noticed. With the NASDAQ back at the highs on that print, that PPI print, obviously that's going to be a little bit surprising. So like what my plan of action is, I'm going to have, no matter where AMC opens up, I'm just going to be sure. Like it halted at 24, so if it opens up underneath $9, I'm just going to get out. If it opens up higher than that, GameStop's going to open first.
It's all about GameStop.
Yeah, like we'll know what's going on with AMC when GameStop does what it does on its open. So I feel at the end of the day, if this is going to open first, we'll get to that 55. This is my third time trying to dip buy in GameStop. If you enjoy the show, or if you like the show, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I can't promise it'll make GameStop go to the upside, but we're taking the shot anyways. When the meme, like Sean said, when the meme stocks happen and you've got a plan of action, we're here to try to trade our plan.
Damn,
and that was halt to the downside and look for that dip buy. So that's what we're going to do right in here. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, enjoy the show. Apparently SoFi is going to the moon. I absolutely love that.
Let's go.
I'm not going to look at SoFi today, but I'm going to be really happy if it's over $8. I'm hoping it's over $8.
Wow,
SoFi,
that'd be nice.
SoFi bag holder, raising my hand right here. I got no qualms admitting that. I'm one of those. It's all good. Let's go to Adara.
I was actually just going to bring this up on SoFi as well. Worth noting, beyond the 17.3% short float, we have a little bit of a catalyst on this one, partnering with Teplum to expand access to alternative assets. So a bit of a story here for SOFI in addition to that short float up into that 750 plus area now, guys.
It's like not, SoFi's like not, here we go, but it's kind of like, okay, we're in the fourth quarter. We're down by 25 to Green Bay. Here we don't go. Okay, so here we go. We'll wait to see. SoFi is SoFi the Dallas Cowboys of the financials, you know? They would come with a lot of hype, but then we'll see if they can perform.
No, but you know why I'm saying $8? Like, look, okay, look, these stocks are halted right now. We can look at the damn chart of SoFi for anybody that's like a $7 bag holder like everybody else. And it's not that you're holding a bag at $7. It's just the stock doesn't go anywhere and it's in a downtrend. Break $8 SoFi, and then we can go.
Yes.
Go where you need to go.
Yes,
GameStop is upside.
GameStop.
Go GME.
GameStop.
Who cares about complaining about...
There's GameStop, 51.50. It opens up much higher there. It does halt.
Going.
GameStop halted at what, 50, 60, something like that. So let's go, man, because we've got this we've got it going, man. We've got it going. There's the halt price, 49.84. We have a decent sized position on AMC. So if that goes, man, then hell yeah, we should be back where we need to be. You know, like this AMD position on fire, but let's see what we could do here with AMC, man. This could be the sing-song of them all if we open up to GameStop sort of love there. Like, we've got these shares on. Good trade, Neil, taking that. Let's see if we can...
Nope.
Let's see if we can really get this going now.
Halting again?
Yeah? No.
So
I think it might fall down
here. So
here.
remember, when you get to the halt band, it actually has to hold at the halt band for a full 15 seconds.
It's going to do it now, hopefully.
Every time it gets there, it's like trying, but it's not actually halting. So you're still heading into the upside. Oh, what am I doing with, let me just punch out a BlackBerry. There we go. Yeah, GameStop's going up.
Let's go.
BlackBerry. So BlackBerry's out. 55 could break any second now on GME. I figure AMC, if this happens, you could easily get to like $10.
10?
Why not?
I'm not even selling if it gets to 10, man. We're going
I'm
to
just
12.
talking about the opening print.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about too, baby.
All right, so has to do with whole 50.
There we go. So I don't know where that opening print was, but there's 970 right there for that opening print. We're rocking right now. Let's just get some more out. Why not? When you've got the goods, you get them out. Sometimes there it goes, a nice move up there for AMC. Remember, we're long at 920s right now on this name, so we're gonna have to watch GameStop, which I have up.
It's still going.
Right beside me right now. So there goes AMC. There goes GME. Let's go right now and see if we can have some of said hands on board right now for a nice move back up to the upside. There's that 10 spot. We like that one right now. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. That's what we're talking about. AMC, the #1 P&L name here, unless someone's rocking GameStop behind me. Here we go right now. Good trade, Neil.
Another halt up is attempted on GameStop here. I'm holding the last of AMC through this 10 break. If it breaks 10 and GameStop actually does halt up, don't have an order out during the halt. If you're at real trading, you know why. But at the end of the day, you're halting upside, so I wanted to hold. I said, I'll take some out, then I'm holding through the next up halt, and I want this at $60 on GameStop. It's right now 6 in the money, and AMC is about to halt up. I wonder if you can't grab something like, there might be a chance to grab something like a cause on a bit of a break if one of these wants to go as well, but we're holding on to these dice as we see fit. So the move, you had to wait for it. The dip buy came in, and now they're absolutely flying. Both of these names, you just had to hold out there.
10.50.
Now 10.42 is going to halt again.
Let's go. Give me some more. Feed. Let's go, Zeke. Let's go. Here we go to the upside right now, man. We took some more shares here. I don't know if it's going to halt again. We took some more. Let's see what happens right now. Hey, let's put something out in the 60s. You want to halt again? Let's rock and roll, baby. We're long $1 in the money right now on that AMC. We've got GME. This is your numero uno, baby. Let's go to the upside. It doesn't want to halt, does it? Too much liquidity.
It's halted.
But the halt is in again. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. Let's get going. And by the way, let's just say you got some freedom and wealth after all of this. I have something for you right now. This is going to be the #1 podcast in the history of Spotify, of everything. When you hear me and whoever this handsome gentleman is, Brendan Wickens, we're going to talk about all of this stuff, man. Talk about this. Join us up. Hit that like. Hit the subscribe. My guy, Bears vs. Bulls. Get that in the chat right now. We are a fuego. Look what's happening with AMD. Okay, AMD, you thought we were gone, but we're just... Here we go. It's back in the business right here. Oh, man. This has been a fun day. You know, like sleep? What sleep?
Who needs
Sleep. Sticky note.
Sleep is unimportant.
Whose idea was
I
anyway?
had some plans on, like, I'll look back at Google and see what happened. I have no idea. I'll have a look at Intel at some point and some of the other stocks. Heck, even Plug Power. It is time. It's 10 o'clock. I added on AMC, but GameStop I did not get. GameStop I couldn't get filled. It was, I don't know, like it wasn't really going into that halt guaranteed the way that AMC was stacking up. So sitting on the bid of GameStop seemed a little bit reckless in that moment. But let's get to happening now with Adara. And apparently Powell's going to talk too.
Oh, no.
And Chair Powell not speaking yet. We are waiting on him to speak. Some other introductory comments right now coming out of the Foreign Bankers Amsterdam event. I will let you guys know if he says anything of note. There is also going to be a Q&A after the fact as well, specifically for Fed Chair Powell, according to the introductory comments. So that'll be something to watch out for. We did get that month-over-month PPI a little bit hotter than expected here. So initially took the market to the downside. Right now, both the SPY and the NASDAQ more or less flat on the day. And there are some other stocks to watch out for in addition to all of the meme frenzy that has continued now in day 2 for a lot of these names and week 2 for GameStop. We also, though, have Google to watch out for here, down about 0.14% of the day ahead of its I.O. event. Sundar Pichai, CEO of Alphabet, set to deliver a keynote around 1 p.m. Eastern time, so we'll definitely have to keep an eye on GOOGL here. Amazon, AMZN also on watch, down about 1+%. AWS CEO Adam Slipsky announcing that he's going to step down, so that took that one to the downside. Last but not least here, Alibaba was one of the bigger earnings names on watch today, down over 6%, missing earnings per share, though it did beat sales estimates. They also approved of a dividend, so BABA worth watching here as well. So many names to keep an eye on, guys. Fed Chair Powell as well.
I'm just going to do something that we haven't done in a long time. So go over here, hit the like, hit the subscribe right immediately. We're trading live, like showing you all of our ins, all of our, what's wrong with my YouTube page? 1,000 likes right now, over 10,000 watching. So let's get those like buttons going up right now. We've got Powell coming on. Something's wrong with my YouTube, but hit the subscribe bell. Let's get going on that one. Hit the like, subscribe, and then hit that damn share button and say, these two maniacs are over here trading GameStop and AMC live, showing you every single damn halt that comes through, showing you costs, showing you BlackBerry, and really just giving it to you, I hope. Yeah, showing it. Yeah, exactly, Fabian. Show it to your dog, your mother, your uncle, your abuela, whoever you got. Show it over there immediately because they're...
Most importantly to your abuela. Let's
yes,
be real.
Man. Let's get going, man. Let's get new generations.
That's the one that matters. Man.
Yes, man. I don't know. Let's get new generations involved. Anyways,
The
We'll
best
go.
part
We'll
is
go.
Powell. We don't even have to. We don't
Everybody
have to care
wants us
about Powell.
to clip all this. I don't know.
Clip it all.
Clip it. There.
Look,
now, there,
GameStop's
done.
going to open first. Now remember, whatever GameStop does, AMC is going to do, probably. So I'm going to, no matter what happens, I'm going to have a stop set on AMC. But if GameStop opens higher and gets to $60, which it just opened, there's 50, go to another halt, and we're going to be golden on AMC. Yeah, this is time to move my trail on this bad boy. I just moved my trail down into 53 because if this comes back into the downside, I am long underneath the $50 level. I do not need this pulling back and then losing on both of them.
See, that's the
so
problem
if it goes
with
down,
AMC.
if it halts down, I'm punching BlackBerry is the short that I want because BlackBerry is BlackBerry and it doesn't have as much of a reason to go higher. So I'm looking for a hold into the 60 level, but if we can't hold on to 53, I'll get out of that, punch short, but it's still going higher in GME. Come on, go up, break the top. No, it came down in hull 54.
What was the
and
hull
it's trying
price?
the hull was actually at 55.60.
55.60. Okay, so it's
So
still
it's
down.
beneath the hull price right now.
Okay.
But it held on to that 53. That was this little candle in here onto the upside. So if we break this top, I think we're headed to 60, and then AMC should open up and probably head to $11. But it has to break this top, which is the initial halt down at 57. Once that's broken, I move my trail higher. AMC's opened up as well.
Look at Luke Waters there.
Be
This is what we're
careful with
talking
AMC.
about. Look at Luke Waters here. I'm down $500, but here's $5 because I'm loving the show. I mean, shout the hell out to you, my guy, right there. Okay, AMC is now resumed right now. GameStop's resumed. We got a little piece out there. I don't like Neil, man. We don't want this to halt to the downside. So let's just be very careful.
I got out of AMC.
A couple, I did not. I'm out. I mean, I'm getting out, but we're still in it. Let's put another offer in the 20s here. See if we can get something. Thanks so much, Luke, by the way, for that, and everybody that super chatted. Bears versus Bulls. If Neil or I are missing any of the super chats, please just send them to us in a private chat because I want to acknowledge everybody today. This is a special day. All right, so there it goes, man. Nicely done there. And then, okay, it looks like it's going to go the other way. Fed Chair Powell, he's on the ones and twos. So we'll say what's up to Fed Chair Powell, who I thought he's calling. Okay, okay, I'll get that, but let's go to Adair and see what Fed Powell has to say.
We do have that. Fed Chair Powell just started delivering comments expected to summarize the U.S. economic situation. So if we see anything interesting coming out of there, I will let you know. He has said right now that the U.S. economy has been performing, quote, very well. So we'll keep you guys updated on those comments. Also worth noting, Rumble, RUM, to the upside here, up about 5%, 4.2% short float, market cap of about $2 billion. So not massive, but it is worth noting as well. Yesterday, announcing that they are suing Google for $1 billion due to an alleged ad monopoly. Worth noting as well, RUM reporting after close tonight. So this one definitely on watch here.
Okay, so we
Rumble
just got
reports.
Rumble, never heard of it. Yeah, so right now, shout out to Canada, by the way. Shout out to Canada with Rumble, right there. Okay, so right now I got out of everything of AMC. We put on a small piece there on that halt. Nothing like, you saw my price didn't even really change. But on the move down, we're gonna get out of that. GameStop halted down. So that to me was the reason to panic out of AMC. Now, the trade that I've only had 2 trades today. Or 2 stocks, AMC and AMD. I got killed on AMD. Not killed, but it took out 152. I have the high of the day on AMD. Remember yesterday I had the high of the day on SoFi? Unfortunately, this happens, man. I got to get better at picking, but like if you just put your stop 1 cent higher than mine, which mine was at like 152.05 or something like that, or probably 02, all right? Then you're still in this trade and it's an absolute monster. We don't even have, those are just for fun. These are the real positions. We put that on our sticky note, 51.50. Bye-bye. Okay, nice little downside move right now happening in AMD. So now we're back in the money. Hopefully we can spin this a dollar club, but we would be on cloud 9 right now if we didn't have that move back to the upside there for AMD. But that's trading for you. I'm trying to stay focused in what we want. It is now Powell on the ones and twos. Dead Poets.
I have no idea.
Taylor Swift is Dead Poets. What is it called? Society. Oh, Tortured Poets Department. Wow, that was way off. I actually said that to my daughter, and she was like, "What the hell's Dead Poets?"
That's a great movie.
I know.
That's a really.
Anyways, we're starting to go back up to the upside right now for AMC.
Yeah,
it is
AMC's
ripping
back
right now back to the upside. So there goes AMC now. I was just going to bring it back to watching movies, but Taylor Swift movie, of course, is on Disney. Here we go, AMC breaking through 10. We got out there, and we're waiting for GME to open back up. Really, that's.
Yeah, GameStop, of course, halted down. This is why I said I'm moving my trail up. Every time I didn't want to get caught in a halt, so my trail has to move higher on GameStop because I don't want to be sitting in a long position when it halts down. So I got out trailing just before it stopped out. We did have the long underneath 50, so it'll end up being a winning trade. But I got out of AMC, and then when Sean said just now, I looked over at AMC back above 10. I was in BlackBerry. What's the first thing I did? I punched short BlackBerry when GameStop halted down. It worked to the downside, but the second I saw we're back over 10, I got back out of BlackBerry. I am up on BlackBerry, but the other ones have been kind of nasty. I'm 1 for 3 on GameStop looking for bottoms because I'm going short in BlackBerry, and that's been the easier trade, to be honest with you. You know, like 'cause every single time things look really heavy, I've just been punching short into BlackBerry, and it's worked every single time. So I don't want to get away from that too much, but there are some other moves out there. We're going to go to Adara. I see people talking about SOUN. That's near those highs, but not nearly as crazy. It's falling back underneath VWAP. And then last one, Novavax is trying to make another run at the top. Novavax has legitimate reasons why it's going up outside of just the squeeze because that Sanofi deal. So let's go over to Adara, but a 15 break on Novavax looks imminent here.
Fed Powell just finished his comments on the state of the U.S. economy, though he is still set to continue speaking. It's an ongoing conversation, but I do have the cues up here. We got a little bit of a move up. Fed Powell saying that they do expect continued GDP growth and expect that inflation will move back down. However, he did add this caveat saying that his confidence in inflation moving back down is lower than it was. So Powell losing confidence in inflation moving back down here, worth noting, guys.
125. Thanks for guys in the chat there for Palantir. It's right here. 20. I only have 3 names on here. Palantir, AMD, AMC with prices. We said 20 break, 2050. That didn't come in. And I said we really like 2125. That you would have never even had to blink on that one. There it is. There's the move, just straight up from that. It did baseline there. It gave you lots of opportunities to get in. Missed opportunity of the day right there. So AMC and GME. So GME is going to open back up very soon, and AMC is starting to motor again back up to where it halted. So, you know, just trying to wait to see if there is like a change in, so here's AMC 1050, so right back here, this is where it halted. 10, where do we get long? 1040, yeah, so that's what I mean. So let's now see what happens with GameStop and see if there's a trade here.
Yeah, it's holding. The halt bottom is 52.38 so far, or somewhere around there. So far, it's going to look like it holds it and heading back into the upside. Oh,
yeah,
come on, go and break this top break. Remember, 57 is what it couldn't take out. Oh, it's going to halt into 57?
We punched long.
Yeah, it's going into another halt here on GameStop. Did you punch long AMC?
Yeah, I have long 40s. And it's halting right now. So AMC, GameStop is halting. So is AMC, I think. No, it's not.
No, it's
not going to. All right, we got it. We're gonna punch out
another fake out.
Oh shoot, man! Another one. Makeouts to fakeouts and breakouts here. Oh no. Okay. Well, now we're back. Okay. I don't know. This Neil.
If GameStop halts to the upside, I'm looking for a quick punch long on AMC. But that just hasn't really happened yet. So GameStop's still flying around here.
Fake halting?
GameStop needs to break $57. That was the halt down price. That was the best reopen top. So if that breaks 57, I think it could let some of the floodgates open up there. I know Rivian's at $12, and if Novavax breaks $15, I probably am going to get triggered into it. I do have that one up. It's still at 1440, so we got some time in there. But I'm just watching GameStop here.
I'm trying
57
to
break. Or halt to the upside, or it goes into a halt, and I'm going to punch AMC to the long side. If we fail and break down and 52 goes, you should know by now I'm just going to go over and short BlackBerry, wherever the heck it happens to be. But here comes this test of 57 on GME. Should get there any second now. You know what? I see you in the chat, Scott H. Reddit's probably a decent trade because Reddit has its own reasons why people actually want to buy it and hold it for the long term that aren't involved in like the meme rally, and it's a bit adjacent to it. So there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like there's going to be some big opportunities here on these other 2 names as GameStop. I guess we're not going to get this 57 break.
No, I mean,
the problem is I'm long biased for these dips on GameStop, so I'm not even trying to short the stock. But if it goes down, like I said, it'll be BlackBerry I jump into. I could have held on to the short I had in BlackBerry instead of going over on that bounce play, because I'd still be in the money. But I did punch it out. The second AMC was above 10 again. I went into that. Look for the bottom one more time on GameStop. I'm going to try and get into BlackBerry as long as we're holding underneath 57. I should be shorting BlackBerry, and if this breaks, that's an easy out for me. So it's all about GameStop 57, and then this little bottom range here at 52. Once we break out of there, I think you can just sort of safely get into something. But the short at VWAP on BlackBerry actually looks like a great scalp trade as well. And as I said, Novavax, I will just get into Novavax if 15 breaks. I'm just taking that breakout wherever it happens to be. If you're watching the chips, I have GameStop up on another level too. There's no point staring at it if it's not going to break one way or the other. If you're watching the chips, NVIDIA just did another kind of like false breakout at 900 and back underneath. If this holds a bit over 900, the market's going to stay green and start flying. So it's worth watching these chip names a little bit more closely. I got to check out where ARM is, but GameStop's going to resolve itself one way or the other, and I just don't want to take my eyes off it. Oh, it is what it is. If I miss a million trades on the chips today, so be it. I want that one shot if we're going to break out here on GME.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what we said, man. Try to be as focused as you can today, because you want to have the right ammo ready to go for when you see something. So we've been shorting AMD again. It's at 152. So again, just to talk about something else a little bit, this is decent. Well, we have some bids here, so hopefully it can cover and we can come back in and then make a real winner here. But right now, unfortunately, we sat there and talked a little bit, obviously, about GameStop and AMC. Well, I got out here until I see something else. So like, if something flies through here on AMC and we actually get something on a halt up, then we can get back in it. I'm very, very light. It's obviously my number one stock. We're still positive on it. And it might be P&L number one on the floor, but I have to check. I don't know. But right now, AMD pulling back, AMC just dancing. So I'm focused now on AMD because it just hit that 152 again. So with Powell talking, I understand it's very risky. That's why I'm covering. We're actually already out of half here in the 70s and 60s off of an mid-80s short. So just trying to take like 20 or 30 cents on more shares, because I do realize that the risk right now is in because of Fed. So we'll wait to see what happens here. Hopefully he says something bad because I'm short, but we have our target out. We've already covered. So I'd love this name to go down. We're still waiting for AMC. It's not halting. It's not really doing anything. Neither is GME right now momentarily. So it looks like the pressure's to the downside, I feel like. We haven't, like Neil said, that 57 hasn't broken a minute.
It's that halt, the initial halt down's the problem.
This is a big trade for AMD if it can go. So
yeah, I mean, you're at VWAP with AMC, and GME is still right in here. If it relieves that pressure, this was also the dip buy level in the pre-market at 8:30. It was right into 57. Right. We talked about this in the lesson of the day. Like, sometimes these are the only things to go off of. It breaks 57, and some shorts are going to start covering again. But let's go over to Adara.
Another Powell update here. The moderator of this Forward Banker at his Amsterdam event asking him to talk about the hot PPI number. And Powell said he actually wouldn't call the PPI number hot, said it's more mixed due to a variety of factors. So Fed Chair Powell was saying that the PPI is actually not as hot as was initially viewed. And he says that he believes analysts and bankers will actually view it as a little bit more of a mixed number than what the initial reaction there. Said, asked if inflation will prove more persistent, said he's not really sure. The Fed is not really sure if inflation will prove persistent as well. So interesting moves here, a little bit of a move down in the market on that comment, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Really
Let's go. Nice win right here. Let's go bang, 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 bang on stuff other than meme for now. Nice move to the downside. Hit the like, hit the subscribe immediately on this, because if this meme stock thing is going to be here for a minute, you're going to want to watch us every single day, including the midday show where Adara will be trading these. Obi, what's up, Obi? Sharif will be trading these as well. So get ready to rock and roll with us all day long here at Trader TV Live. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, get notified every single time we are live. And we're live 6.5 hours a day, man. I mean, if the market's open, we're live. And then we have, again, the recap show where we will be going through everything.
No, it's longer than that.
What is?
8 hours.
9:30 to 4.
Oh,
Can't
no,
be an even
8:30.
number. Oh, well, we're on. Yeah, yeah.
8:30 to 4:30.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about the market hours. Yeah, my bad.
Oh, you know,
right there. Yeah. So as long as there's a market open, we're here, and we're here, as Neil said, early, and then for some reason they keep me late. So,
so it's like
I can't.
It's a full 8 hours, everybody.
I'm trying to get this contract negotiation going, but yeah, we're staying late right now for you. Powell right now, yap, yap, yap. We'll see what's going on. We will wait for our phone call from Jerome immediately after the press conference, which of course won't happen. But right now, 151.94. We're spinning it a little bit, slapping it up on AMD to the downside. And our friend AMC, I might just get out of this because we do have a very small position. It's not affecting my net one way or the other. Let's empty the clip on this one as it breaks back below. Well, it's affecting my net. I lost. But now let's wait to see here what we can do. I don't want to have an odd lot in case something happens, and I want to, like, take more shares. So, all right, here we go. Powell talking about housing inflation being a puzzle. Yeah, it's kind of a puzzle there. Like, you know, it's more of a
Weird.
Yeah, more, I don't know, real estate inflation. I mean, part of the problem is the rates, so he's got to fix that, I feel like. All right, here comes AMD. Nice move to the downside again. We will shore this all up with Adara if and when she hears
here comes.
anything significant. Are we halting finally? Here comes 55.
Someone's trying to sell a boatload of GME at 55. I feel like if it takes that guy, you know, maybe, well,
I am getting ready to punch long
whomever
on
that
AMC.
order is, if it breaks this 55, you could finally get this test of 57 again. We're supposed to go to Adara one more time. Let's go to the desk.
All right.
Some other comments coming out of Fed Chair Powell here, repeating what he said at the last FOMC meeting, that he doesn't think it's likely the next rate move will be a hike. He also did say, though, that it's clear the policy is restrictive, but not sure that it's, quote, sufficiently restrictive. So that kind of an interesting remark there in context with his belief that there probably will not be a hike next. Also, yeah, just saying here that it'll be time will tell if the policy is restrictive enough. So interesting notes here, just keep in mind as well, coming from Fed Chair Powell. Still answering questions, guys.
It's like
Every single time, like, it's about to break out, all I'm really doing is I'm shorting BlackBerry into VWAP, and then every time it looks like we're breaking out and I'm going to get a long opportunity in GameStop, I just get filled on the offer of BlackBerry, and then I start scalping it out. So it's really just the same old, with the offer just stacking it up on GME. AMC's flying in and around that $10 level. Just a couple of other things to get to. I know when I pointed to Tesla earlier, Tesla was like, yay, Tesla. Tesla strong like bull, or whatever. Tesla's back underneath 175 bucks. Right. So yeah, Tesla, you in that penalty box. Underneath 75, you're back in that bad boy. And I got to go, look, if it gets to
GME down again.
172.5, looks like an interesting buy zone. Again, if you're just kind of keeping track of these, usually on a normal day, I would be short Intel into 31. No question about it. And if the market rolls over, I think that's a reasonable place to be. It is up 0.7%, but look what it did to the up move yesterday. They sold that sucker off the entire way. So I'm still just scalping BlackBerry. Oh, no. Alibaba. Oh, Alibaba stinks. Alibaba, if it goes down 10%, that will be, what is that, 8.5, so like 66 bucks. Sorry, 76 bucks is the SSR level. So we'd be down 10% if you go to $76 on Alibaba. That said, the bid where I liked it is off of 77.5, so that could be a nice little midday rally spot for Alibaba. I just didn't think that was that likely to happen. GameStop's halting down. Oh, no. Give me more.
Is this.
Give me. Not GameStop. I'm trying to get more BlackBerry if I can. Oh, I still had bids out. Good job, Neil. I'm taking profit on the short as I'm trying to get more. Yeah.
Nope.
So GameStop is going to halt down. Apologies for being on the Alibaba chart. It just is what it is. But you're halting to the downside on GameStop. As always, when the trend is down on the memes, I am short in BlackBerry all day. So that's going to continue to work for me. That was the plan of action this morning, was just to short this sucker. Should have just shorted GameStop apparently, but that wasn't my plan. Let's go to Adara for the small cap recap last I checked.
IWM curling to the downside a little bit here, but still up on the day. Another day, though, for small cap recap to focus on some of these heavily shorted names, including here Faraday Futures, FFIE. This one up over 100%, 85.2% short float. So market cap around 2.2 million. So definitely one to watch out for here, FFIE. We also have here SAVE, Spirit Airlines. This one up about 8% on the day, 26% short floats. This is another one to watch out for as well. Market cap below $1 billion. Last but not least, Beyond Meat, BYND. This one up here around 18%, does have a short float of about 39%. So once again, a lot of these small caps are going to be heavily shorted, guys.
Yeah, so we short. So again, we've only traded two names today, AMC and AMD, both with the A's, and we just got a nice little move down there for AMD as well. So covering some of that, but we're in trouble now with AMC because we're long. We punched long when we thought GameStop was breaking longer, and it didn't break. So we should have just punched out immediately, but it was just bouncing back and forth. So I thought it was breaking right there, and it didn't. So we got into AMC like 2-3 minutes ago, and then this happened. So yeah, so we're stuck now at 10 here on AMC. So I don't, it's definitely not going to open. I mean, I don't think it's going to open any higher because GME halted down. So this is going to have to be a wait and see kind of trade right now for us. AMD, same kind of story, back up here to 150. Look at the market, like whatever Powell was saying there seems to have worked to spark right there. And yeah, I mean, I was never going short NVIDIA, as I hear Neil say that. Okay, so yeah, so whatever he had said right there gives NVIDIA $7 of juice straight there to the upside. Probably its friend Meta probably helping out as well. Palantir's by far the mistrade of the day. I thought I was all smart like when I wrote down, let me put down Palantir here at 21.25. I mean, there it goes right now. That was by far the missed trade for me of the day, like not even close, especially when we write it down. And we talk about it. We like that break level. Remember in the pre-market, I was like, oh, I kind of like this 21.25 level right there, but not overly convinced about it. I should have just put a stop order in, even for like 100 shares, so at least I get something so that I can see what's happening. But anyways, all in all, the market is really starting to rip up here. We'll try one more. I'll put another bid here in the 50s for AMD because we're short at 95. We'd like to take some more. In case we're wrong, let's take about 15% off. There it is right now to get some out for 45 cents. We did get hit once on it right there when it ripped up. We took some out, ripped it up through 152. Now our stop's just a little bit higher than 152, like 152 teens. So we'll take another short in the 80s if we can get it on this one. But we're just waiting for this. This is going to be, I'm not loving this trade at all. GameStop and GME both right now halting downside. So what that means is that it's hit a level. Now we wait for the 5 minutes or 10 minutes for it to settle out. It should be just 5, and then we'll get going. It's not news pending or anything like that on both of these names. So we'll wait. Space is another.
Not all of these are actually halting down, are moving to the downside. I just double checked. Plug Power is back underneath VWAP. I'm in BlackBerry. I can tell you that's been under VWAP the whole way. But Virgin Galactic, for reasons unknown, I don't know if it had its own story. I'll double check that, but I didn't think it did. It looks like it's up 33%, but it's holding VWAP pretty nicely here. So you want to look for things that are, if we're going to be shifting and GameStop and AMC go to the downside and continue to kind of flush there, if you're going to shift, find what is actually still strong. So Virgin Galactic seemingly the case. I don't know if it's its own story. I don't want to ignore Novavax. Even though it never broke out, it's at least holding the early breakout price. It never broke the 15. If that can creep above VWAP, it looks a little bit better. Again, this is really just Powell just took this market straight up. NVIDIA is now absolutely gonzo. If it breaks 910, then I think this is going to rip some faces off here. Oh, he's done, but anyways. 910, if that goes, it could be nasty. But even a dip back into 905, we love that number. GameStop just opened back up for anyone that's interested. Now, if it continues,
50.
it just broke 50 and came right back up to 51 on GameStop. So a false break of the 50 level and back at 51. I'm going to take some shares out of...
AMC just opened up.
Yeah, I'm taking some shares out where it lies on BlackBerry.
950.
I just covered another quarter of the position there when I saw GameStop hold the 50 level. I'm still holding the short in general, but any strength on GameStop when I start taking out some BlackBerry shares, it's just scalping it off of VWAP. But it looks like we're catching a bit of a bid here on GME at 50 again.
Yeah, so we're catching a little bit of a bid. That's right. Right now, as we're trying to get back up, I do have an offer right here at 10 just to see if we can get something out there. But right now, AMC trying to go back up to the upside. I don't know, man. It is kind of failing up here a little bit as we get to 10. So let's just see what happens as we have an offer to get more out. So hopefully it'll break up through 10. I'm sitting at 10 flat just to get the fill on that one. And then we'll see hopefully about a higher break. We're stuck long right now on, of course, AMC. And we talked about that. So let's just quickly see what's going on GME right now. 52, starting to go back again. You know, the real break spot, I mean, and we talked about this, is you don't have to be in it all the time. This is probably the best thing to wait for, a 56 break, like with confidence. So that's going to be something. Here we go. Nice move back in as we get reloaded right now on AMD, sorry. Picking our poison all over the place here. And now we go over back with AMD. Make a little bit of money back right now on that name, as we were just able to cover some in the 60s. I don't know what that little dump was all about, but we'll see if we get some more out now. We should have got them all out, but I didn't know. Here we go back in. We just did short more AMD at the top before getting some outs. That's a quick 40 cents, but not on enough shares. It needs to fall in for us to get a little bit more profit out of this name. A?
We currently have some more answers from Fed Chair Powell during this Q&A. He did just say that they think inflation is making, quote, real progress in the U.S. So comment there coming from Fed Chair Powell. If I hear anything else, I'll let you guys know.
Really?
Thanks very much, Adara. Just for anyone still watching these, I know like NVIDIA is going absolutely nuts. There is some movement in some of the weed names, not
off
all
the
of them,
weed.
but just in case you're watching them, at the end of the day, like I'm just laser focused on NVIDIA, not NVIDIA and GME mostly, but you could take out a top on CGC. I would just caution, it's got another high the last couple of days at like 1020, so that's got a little bit more room to run. Tilray itself is trying to get off of the Schneider VWAP. They're trying to do volume, but once again, GameStop looked like it was going to go. It looked super strong. I got to zoom back in for you guys here. Looked like you're going to go off that 50 level. Strong bounce off of 50. I punched some out of BlackBerry, which actually probably didn't even need to do that, and just not a lot of follow through. It needs to break 57. If we don't end up breaking $57 here, then anybody that was short it kind of really early in the day just doesn't care. Anybody that was short it really early in the pre-market just doesn't care either. It's the 57 level that has to go. And if it takes that out, I think you can start to go flying. ARM is at highs, but 120 is a big resistance level on ARM. And that 910 still very much in play for NVIDIA.
All right, here we go. We have a lot, guys, to talk about as we go, because look what's happening right now. Let's go. Hopefully we can get a nice little move back in right now for
GameStop halting up.
GameStop halting up. Yeah, buddy. We've got AMC right. Oh, the GameStop fake halt. We've got AMC starting to go right now up to 10 and change. So again, like this is just what a morning. Like I need to definitely take that walk today, because this has been a very, very exciting morning. Thank you, Randy. You know, I mean.
What do you mean, ew?
Not my fave.
Ram just goes, ew. No, I don't mind. I like these. They're tangerines. I like a tangerine. I had a tangerine yesterday.
I just don't think it's the right season for these.
Vitamin C, man.
I don't know. I like.
It's good for you.
I'm all about vitamin C.
No, look, thank you. Appreciate Randy. Thank you very much. The second I saw, I just followed my plan. The second I saw going into a halt up, it didn't halt up on GameStop, but I punched out of BlackBerry. It was essentially out flat, just wherever it happened to be. So again, no halt up. I was still in the money, but I am not getting caught short this stock under VWAP. I'm just shorting VWAP here if you actually get a breakout in the other one. So, you know, gonna stick to the plan. I'll jump back into the short. I just grabbed the dip buy on AMC because I still see that one looking pretty solid. On a trade level, it's holding the 950 level pretty decently. So I'm gonna go like scalp trading in AMC. Time for the crypto update. Bitcoin is doing things, I'm going to assume.
Bit of a milestone in a negative way here for these Hong Kong Bitcoin and Ether ETFs. All 6 of them having their first negative day of outflows on Monday since they launched on May 2nd. So bit of a weak move there for these Hong Kong Bitcoin and Ether ETFs. Seeing 39 million in outflows on Monday compared to the general $6 million in outflows in previous days. So a bit of a move down yesterday, and analysts saying that could be in response to the move down that we had in Bitcoin on Friday. So interesting look there for these Hong Kong Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Bitcoin itself continuing to chop and turn in a tighter and tighter range on the daily chart. Right now, just continuing to bounce around between that 62,000 and 61,000 area. So again, this range is getting increasingly tight on the daily chart. Right now, Bitcoin just above the 62,000 level. Ethereum holding on to that 2,900 as of right now. Both of these down about 1+%. And pretty much everything else in the crypto world to the downside here. Dogecoin trying to be positive, but pretty flat in the day. BNB down over 3%. Cardano down 2.5%. Shiba Inu down about 2%. So lots of weakness here in the crypto space, guys.
Come on.
Don't tell me Shibu's down. Well, that's not good.
No, that's the worst.
You know, I got a piece of that somewhere in my Coinbase account. I don't even know how much, but I got something. It ain't. Yeah. It's not nothing. Well, okay, it's probably.
Sounds like it's nothing.
No, it is. It is kind of nothing. But I don't mind. Let's go. What I'm pissed off. Okay, I'm not mad about this. A little bit, maybe a little bit. Coinbase. Look at VWAP. I feel like everyone's looking at the meme stocks, and then like these really, really ridiculously obvious trades are sitting here. Like, look at Coinbase at 200 and at VWAP. I can't even remember the last time I saw something look this ridiculously clean. This is VWAP to a T, and it's 200 almost to a T, and then it rips $5. I mean, hey, why not? GameStop still doing its stand. I did a little of scalp trading on AMC there, short 988. Wish I could run that, but I was a second slower than that. And then just got some out as it presses back into that 10 level. It's just a scalp into these ranges. And if GameStop breaks out, you hold. If GameStop breaks this and you're long one of the meme stocks, I'm going to be holding it. I keep checking back on Novavax. Still no push through VWAP. I do like this one. If it can, first of all, if it breaks 15, I think that's great. If it can hold above VWAP and give me some kind of a consolidation here, I'd go long over 14, giving it to that level because of their Santa Fe deal. Lamont in the chat, appreciate you. Coney, what in the heck is oh, that's a coin option game. So yeah, you're trading this. It doesn't do like a lot of volume there. At the end of the day, as a day trader, you want to go where the volume is. You can trade the same trend over here. It's just following the Coinbase chart, but you know, for us, it's just easy to trade the actual equity. And there's a million things. If you want something lower price, there's reverse ETFs, leverage ETFs. There's so many options. For us at Real Trading, we just go right to the main. Sometimes it can be to your advantage. Like during a halt, maybe you can trade a warrant in something. But most of the time, we're just going to trade that straight equity because that's where the good is going to be. All right, with the market pulling back in here, I want
GameStop
something short.
Why does GameStop like?
It's not moving.
Right, I was going to say it shouldn't really halt here.
If it fails 50,
it's not
or breaks 57, I'll let you guys know. But I want to get to some things that I've been leaving at on the side. One of those, I said on a normal day, I'd be short this top on Intel, and with the market starting to pull in, I'm going to short this top on Intel. So for the first time today, I will trade something that is not a meme stock. It's been BlackBerry, GameStop, Cost, and AMC for me. With trying to catch bottoms on GameStop, little scalping on AMC, basically shorting every single point of weakness on the meme names with BlackBerry. And for the record, I was the last dude on the earth with a BlackBerry. It's not that I hate the company. I even went to Waterloo. No, but I went to Waterloo. Like I know people that work there. I don't have anything against them. It's just
you do. No,
I don't. You know I don't.
Of course you
don't. I'm like the biggest BlackBerry lover.
No, we don't have to. I mean, Neil, I'm long AMC. I'm short AMC. Just which way does the wind blow? So here we go.
To the east.
To the east. To the east. To the west. To the west. All right. We are short again. AMD and ringing this Reggie one more time all the way. It's all the way up and now all the way down. Right there for AMD. But you know what? Your boy is getting right now because we went long GameStop against 50. So we're long right now, small. We're trying to get longer in this area right now, 51.30s. I don't know if we're going to get down into there. Well, maybe we are. Here comes, oh, missed us. Okay, that would have been nice to get picked up there. But right now, wow, we are really Sam Bankman-Frieding right now on AMD as we get to the downside right now. Wow, this is just an undercover 80-cent winner right now on AMD from the top. Like, okay, we are reloaded, needless to say on that one. That is too bad that we got missed $1 lower. We were bidding 51.25. It went to 51.35, or else we'd now be in the money on said position. We are still waiting around for I can't believe I said that, like, how am I able to trade these three names? I'm just waiting for something to happen. So AMC, let's take a little bit off again. We're only in the money here at 80s. We're sticking 97 there at 10s. GameStop waiting for that, waiting for AMD to fall apart. And here it is right now. It is once again another Dollar Club winner back in on AMD as there. Boom goes the dynamite. I know you shorted Intel, but we pick our poison over here with the biggest and the baddest, not NVIDIA, but AMD with now $1. How much is Intel moving down there? Nicely, right?
Well, I'm taking it now because it usually lags it. So it made the wick high. First trade of the day here on the lower high in Intel. I'm going to take it to the low of the day, but look what's happening on NVIDIA as well. Back into that 900 level. Futures are coming into the downside. GameStop's still doing its thing, and so is AMC right around that. I just missed a dip buy in AMC in the 60s, but that's still hanging around that 980. So the chip's starting to come back in here. We got 20 minutes to go. We got plenty of time until we get to the midday here. So
oops, that's AMD.
With this market starting to go, I want to get to quickly. ARM just pulled into VWAP. I thought 120 was going to be the jam for ARM in terms of short trade. It didn't get there, so no ARM trade for me. Underneath VWAP does look pretty good, but I picked on Intel because you had overhead resistance as well, lower high, lower high. We'll get some out 70, then 65, then into the 50s. As now the market is going flesh.
I like to pretend that we didn't know this was going to happen, and we didn't. But there it is. Boom goes the dynamite. A monster, honestly, monster for me trade here on AMD. So yeah. Not a monster happening right now, as GME is probably going to be a downside nightmare right now as it continues. Okay, maybe we get a bounce. We're long at 51.50 right now. Let's take some out if we can get something back upside. I don't know. We're long at, 51.50 right now as we are falling down pretty nicely here on GME. A break of 50, and watch out. Here we go. Now watch out for 49.50 is my out. There it is. False break, but it still broke, so it wasn't really false. Just didn't go down too much after that. Here we come back up into 50.75. Maybe we get a little bit of a movement spot here. We'll take something out on GME just because we don't want to get too rinsed on that. Let's take a piece out there at 50.75. Yeah, we're trying to hold out for this. So nice upside move, and there's the break back down again. Breaking, held again.
It holds.
It's alive right now for GameStop, but it's not going to be alive for long. Like it can't keep doing this because eventually someone's going to run out of buying power to hold this $50 level. So it's got to go now, or I think this is it. We do have an offer to get out, obviously, if we break lower than this. So let's wait to see if we're lucky enough to get something on a bump, maybe, to get out of some of this. But right now, GameStop not looking overly healthy. I'd like now for it to, if possible, halt to the upside, because then, there we go, now it's gone.
It just broke.
There it goes, it breaks, so we're out, so that's it. The reason why I said halt to the upside there is that if we had halted upside, we knew we had a lot of pressure. Obviously from that 50 hold. But there it is to the downside right now. So we're long still, AMC 9887. We were trying to support these longs, guys. It just didn't happen. Good thing we traded. We slipped over to trade AMD, $1.50 in the money on this one. But yeah, so far today, GME, we just took our first shot trying to support 50. It doesn't look like that held. AMC, the same kind of thing, wicking down into 950 right now. Maybe one more try here for AMC in case that was some kind of a washout on GameStop. But right now, AMC trying to get back to 9, it looks like. All right, we're in AMC here, hoping for no halt unless it's an upside halt right now. Maybe these are weak hands, maybe they're not, but let's not lose everything trying to battle this. Go over to Adara. We'll come right back. It's 10:40.
Futures bouncing between positive and negative territory all day, but we have quite a few red sectors right now to talk about. Retail trade very much to the downside. Home Depot reporting earnings this morning. Walmart reporting on Thursday morning, so this is absolutely a sector to watch out for throughout the week. Consumer non-durables pretty weak here as well. Commercial services, Visa in particular, taking a bit of a hit. We have a bit of a move down here in transportation. Consumer services, energy minerals as oil drops more than 1% on the day. So certainly a little bit of weakness, a little bit more mixed here. Health services, communications, industrial services, all pretty neutral. We do, of course, have to talk about finance, which is astoundingly green today. Definitely looking like the standout sector. If you look at this board, it is worth noting as well. Charles Schwab, especially strong, 16% year-over-year increase in total net client assets. So not at all a bad look there for SCHW. We also do have a little bit more mixed look at health technology and kind of more quiet in electronic technology and technology services. These two names a little bit more mixed. We are going to be watching Google, though, heading into its I/O developer event, kicking off with a keynote from CEO Sundar Pichai, 1 p.m., guys.
So just a quick thank you for that. Adara, just a quick update. When GameStop lost this bottom right here, my first action was I was scalping AMC, as you can see over there, scalp off of like 975, and then I had it off this 950 level. I punched out and was very lucky to get flat as it was breaking the bottom. I went over, happened to be at 52 on BlackBerry, and shorted that level. Obviously, if I just held the original short on BlackBerry, that would be fantastic, but the strategy has been to look for the sign of weakness and then just get into the trade. Not guess that BlackBerry is going to hold, but when one of these stocks starts falling down, just take the short off of that level. So it broke a bottom, and I just shorted underneath it. I'm going to play into that low. Just to go back over to the chip names, I mean, the NASDAQ is absolutely flushing, by the way. Like, you're right back to flat on the NASDAQ, which was breaking out a minute ago, or at least 15 minutes ago. So I shorted Intel, got some out in front of VWAP. You're continuing to trend down. But as long as the memes are weak, you know, the plan of action very early on was if they were weak, I was going to be looking the shorts over in BlackBerry. I'm staying with that. It'll end up being my best stock of the day because they're not really bouncing in the meme stocks. So the longs haven't been as good. Let's go over to the desk. We've got Adara again.
Fed Chair Powell did make another comment related to economic policy at this event and during the Q&A, said that he and the Fed think it's probably a matter of staying at the current policy rate for longer. So kind of echoing some previous statements, but it is worth noting he did say that in stone, probably a matter of staying at the current policy rate for longer, guys.
Any shorts at all? All right, so we're now halted. I mean, look, AMD has been a monster, unfortunately, and nothing else really has. The shorts have been right all day on everything. I mean, here's the market opening up of AMC, and now it's at its lows. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a short. These are all outs, like right underneath VWAP, but now we're averaged into the low of the day again, and it's halted. So I'm going to slap probably a fail on this. I mean, I don't know where it's going on the halt, but for right now, GME is trying to go back up. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let's get GME to get back to the upside immediately because, yeah, this down halt for AMC is not good for anybody that's long. That is for sure, but that's okay. You know, we'll obviously live to see another day here, but yeah, it's a good thing that AMD turned out to be the trade that we had thought it would be there today for us. We had lost early, made a lot of money late now on this, and now back into the positive zone for us, obviously there on AMD, but not in our net. Like, if this doesn't open up, well, first of all,
GameStop's still open.
Yeah. I'm watching GameStop. I mean, GameStop's actually going higher a little bit. I mean, it's low as 40. Thing is, it's so volatile. Like, to say like it's going higher, like this one candle here in 1 minute, its low was 47.50, its high was 49. So like $1.50 right there. So you blink and this thing could be up above 50 again. So I mean, again, weeklies, like people gotta, you know, if they're either running out of cash or they're not, it's been a nice move up for GameStop right now. Can it continue? It's not looking like it, man. I mean, we tried the long already until it broke 50. It did that. Huge move. It was all about the pre-market where things were unable to halt, of course, and you get clean moves. Huge move down when the buyers stop, and they come right back into these levels again, $45, $46. So maybe there's a long there somewhere for GameStop down into this area, but for right now, we are still moving down. So, yeah. I don't want to take any more out of AMD in case we only have about 15% left. So we've already taken a wicket out at VWAP and then all through the 50 period and under the 50 period. Good short, pretty much a full, kind of a probably like 2/3 default, I think, if I can remember correctly, because we were battling with other demons. But for right there, AMD, the idea that we had on here, and then the missed trade of the day, by far for me, is Palantir. We wrote this down at 21.25. We talked about this being a former meme runner and that it had an opportunity to do that today, but unfortunately we missed that break. It's right here, and there it goes, boom. Just actually gave you many opportunities to get back in, and then the move up to 22. 22 also not a horrible short, also for Palantir. So yeah, lots of stuff moving around. Little disappointed, obviously, that these things didn't keep on going higher. Our best trade was probably the short that we had right here. Was 1060, cover 860. I mean, that was a good short, but unfortunately right now we're caught in the long against the GME that's going down. So yeah, this is not going to be a good thing here for AMC. So as we get ready to open up, I'm going to put some orders to get out.
Yeah, and watch out. It's not just AMC and GME going down. Remember how strong Rivian was? Was it $12? all the way back. Only 3.5% to the upside. That just dropped 80 cents in almost a straight line. So it has been the pullback story, no question about it here. But it's not just these guys. Tesla, I mean, we talked about Tesla early being pretty strong, trying to get back into VWAP. I mean, if you like technicals, resistance to support, I think Tesla looks strong today. If they can hold into VWAP, I think that's a good shot for the afternoon. And Alibaba completely, I mean, we've generally ignored Alibaba, down 7%, but it held in front of 77.5. That was the zone I liked. So it actually made the bounce. If it can put in a higher low, I'm going to go bottom picking on Alibaba. I knew the plan of action today, if we were going to be weak, was I'd probably be in a lot of BlackBerry shorts. But you know, we took some shots at GME and they were all to the long side. There's no question about it. The short would have been better. Like, we can cop to that. If you get the first halt down, you probably had you had literally nothing to worry about if you took the initial halt. That 57 price that it could not break through ends up being a bit too much. That said, when you zoom it out, has it even broken pre-market lows? Has it even approached yesterday's highs? In the grand scheme of things, it probably just needs to have a little bit of a settle down day, which is exactly what it's attempting to do. AMC's back open, holding that $9 level.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was really happy with what we're holding right now on AMC. I thought this could have been a chance for a disaster right there on AMC, but it looks like it's okay here right now. So we're fine, actually, after all that, thankfully. I was a little nervous there, thinking that we were going to be in trouble on that AMC hold down there, but we did hold so far as GME's trying to make a move back up as well. So we'll hold on, see if we can get something going now on AMC. But again, there it comes right back up. So good job so far. We did get out of some on open. We talked about that, but I wasn't expecting it to go back up here to where we were. So nice move so far, so good on AMC. Let's put, on AMC. Let's put some offers a little bit higher on that one and get something out if we can get like into the 60s or 70s maybe, breaking through that 50 level. But here we come back in. We're watching out for that bottom break of 880, I believe was the bottom. So 870 break. I think we can sort of wrap this story up if we break lower than that. So far, not the greatest here on this long, but let's just see if we can hold somewhere in and around $9 and then get back up to the upside. $1.50 in the money for AMD and still working on something here for AMC. So we'll have to be patient here to see if we can get this name back to where we need it. Upside for AMC. Okay, Adara, she's over there. She's on the desk, and it's Money Talks.
Money talks, but we also have Fed Chair Jerome Powell, who has been talking for the last hour here, saying that it's probably a matter of staying at the current policy rate for longer, also echoing his comments at the last FOMC meeting in April, saying that it's more likely, early May, that they'll have the next move will not be a hike. So continuing to say it's more likely that if the next move will not be a hike. So worth noting that has been repeated. We also did get some PPI data early today, bless you. April PPI coming in slightly higher than expected here, 0.5% versus 0.3% month over month. Core PPI month over month also higher than expected, 0.5% versus 0.2% estimate. So these numbers are a little bit concerning. Fed Chair Powell, though, saying that it's more mixed than necessarily hot. So those were his takes on that PPI data. We also did have Fed Chair Jerome Powell making some of their comments on the economy, basically just saying that it's non-controversial to say that the U.S. economy is currently, quote, unsustainable. So a bit of a mixed outlook here from Fed Chair Jerome Powell, still talking right now, guys.
I like VWAP. How about you?
I love VWAP.
Let's go. Okay, so we ragged on SoFi a little bit here, but hey, let's be real for a second. VWAP is holding on this thing, and it's upward trending pretty darn nicely. So it just made a bounce. I like a higher low off VWAP, not just sit in front of a random number. So we went for hold VWAP, put in the higher low at 48, jump into the long here. I actually got 49.5 because I took a BATS midpoint. I just like the midpoint sometimes. And if it holds on to 45, let's see if this can get back into the set high of the day. At the end of the day, look, the market is holding at green. So anything that looks strong that could, be adjacent to the memes, but could have its own reasons to follow the market, I kind of like. And I would put this in that category. Financials are kind of strong as well. But the NASDAQ has done a dance. You have to remember how big the move was to the downside initially. So even though we've pulled back, it's still pretty bullish on the overall market. So I want to look for some like longs that are not meme stocks right now. So I'm going to get some out here on the way to the high of the day on SoFi, and maybe it gets at $8 we've been begging for. Intel's still trying to, it's holding underneath VWAP. But if you're watching GME, it can't get back above 50. So if it's not going to break 50, then I want to get back into VWAP on, like I said, BlackBerry. If you're not breaking 50, I'm shorting into VWAP on BlackBerry. If we break out, I get out. That's what it's all about there. Delov, I hope I'm right too, but I'm trading it because of the trend SoFi. Not because I think SoFi has finally broken away from $7 and suddenly all of this nonsense, it's been downward trending on the daily chart. I'm not anticipating that's changing. I just think today it's strong, and today it's trending up, and it just bounced off VWAPs. I'm just long 49.5 into 44. I'm long into my long-term account, and this trade is not going to, it doesn't really matter. That stock needs to get to like the double digits before I care in the old long-term.
All right, just quickly, we did get out some more AMD here. I don't know if it's going to bounce or not, but I mean, with the market making this move down, we might as well get out. I mean, a perfect out would be 150.50. It's where we were sitting, but you're not always going to get stuff like that. All right, so we just got a whole bunch out in the 40s again for AMC. We've been buying this dip. We actually got a 909 fill right there as we talked about protecting this $9 level. So we've been sort of doing this, putting on our trading hat a little bit. Just trying to play off some support that could possibly be down here in and around 875 or so. So again, pretty good risk to reward, I feel like right now with AMC. You know, you do have some upside surprise possibility, but you could also tank. So we're ready for all that stuff with stop orders at that low. GME is not moving, so I just want to check both of those stocks for you, as well as costs before we go 575. Again, not doing much. That did have its day in the limelight. BlackBerry, again, good move early. Not much right now. We'll check on those later. Rivian, okay, good. I like Rivian now. We're in the money finally. On a red market day, we're in the money right now with a bang on Rivian. We're long at 1120, 1125 in our own account, but not on here. $1.50 on AMD. And then, yeah, AMC just still around here. I may try some more at $9. We are pretty good right now with the amount of shares that we have. I am offering 41s. I'm offering, actually, we got filled at 38. And then we'll try a 50 and then up here in the 60s. And after that, let's see if we can break 10 and then get back into this in $11, $12 mode right now. So hopefully something will happen there. And we'll be able to trade a little bit more of AMC today to the long side. But it's a chop fest. It's got to get going, right? It's got to get going. So hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're almost at here, I'll show it to you guys. We're almost at 2,000 likes right now, which could be a record. Make sure you do hit the like. There it is. And this thing, oops, I don't know why that's loading there. There it is right there. My whole thing is all messed up. So there it is right now, 8,200 watching, 1.7K. Hit the like, hit the subscribe immediately for all of this meme talk. Let's get to 2,000 in 3 minutes. Let's get to 2,000. And then if you want to too, while you're on it, go to Freedom and Wealth Podcast. 319 subscribers. Let me refresh that and see how many did that. 327. So get over there and like and subscribe to that as we are ready to rock and roll. There it is, AMC. Look, I told you, man, you guys hit the like, subscribe. You're going to get some action here on AMC all the way up there to 940. Spin it. Another one right there for AMC. Now in the money, 40 cents, 50 cents, starting to go. It's the GME, which is through 51 now. So shout out to 50 as it's going now. We are now in the club with AMC and GME.
Yeah, back through that 50. Good look for GameStop. Like I said, it still has to break 57 into the upside, but it's making a first salvo. Every time I see that, I get more on the bid of you're right back underneath 50. I just took some out of BlackBerry, and then GameStop goes right back underneath the $50 level. It's not sustaining these moves as much as you'd like to see. SoFi, which we just took, is continuing to go, but I think it's following the market right now. I don't think SoFi really cares about the meme stuff because the NASDAQ just caught a little bit of a bid. I do have to be careful with like Intel and these chip names. NVIDIA's back at 905, and that held. That's continuing to go higher. As long as Intel's under VWAP, while NVIDIA is doing this upward trend, I feel good. The second Intel decides to follow NVIDIA, then I guess got to get out of there. And I know it's a different name and not always the most adjacent to it. But when NVIDIA really starts to go, it kind of drags everybody with it. If GameStop can hold above 50, that would be a good first step. And then right back to you guys on Tesla. look at Tesla go. I know there's a lot of excitement about the memes, but we should just do a slow clap for Tesla up 3% today. And at the high of the day when the market is not. If you want to know what relative strength means, when the market's bouncing off of a low and a stock is trying to break out a high, that's a relatively strong stock. I would not be trying to short Tesla. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Somehow with GameStop still at 50, I just got some bids down at 54 on BlackBerry. Still pretty chilled out with some of these chip names. And Novavax, I've canceled the breakout on Novavax because it's nowhere near 15 bucks. So maybe it's like a lunchtime trade. I'm not giving up on this one. They have a huge short float, and they just got a deal with Sanofi that is basically was the size of their entire market cap. So suddenly they had no going concern issues, but based on the deal, it's a squeeze breakout play through that $15 level. It just has to get up there to go. And it might be able to do it without some of the other meme names. That's the value of it. But if it doesn't get there, then I guess I don't trade it today.
No, yeah, so AMD's back. We only have 10% left. Whoops, we only have 10% left of AMD here as we go. We come all the way back upside right now for AMD into the 50-period moving average right there. So that was that's something. For AMC, because we're about to go now, I'll probably just hold on now. Honestly, like we just got a 57. We just got a 57, I think it was. Yeah, a 57 fill there. So we're doing pretty good right now with our fills. So I'm pretty okay with what we've got on board right now on AMC, hoping obviously for a higher move. But for right now, we'll sit here and wait to see what happens now with GameStop trying to get back down, which kind of sucks. That's GameStop, and then AMC is still holding. So I feel like AMC is a little bit better because we have some of these bottoms. Bitcoin 61 and not doing too much right now either. So a couple of risky spots here, I feel like, right now. So let's see if we can get excited about AMC and maybe get back to VWAP. I feel like that would be a great trade up here where these highs are, 10.30 or so. So I think $1 maybe is all for me now.
If it breaks that trend, I mean, look at SunPower. A lot of these names are starting to crest, right? I can see SunPower coming up over the horizon here after getting absolutely dumped. So if this can break out, you've got a GameStop trying to take 50. You've got AMC trying to hold $9. If they start to go, don't forget something like a SunPower over here if you can get to that $5 level at the same time. It's already 11 o'clock, so it's been an absolutely crazy, wild show. We said you wanted to stay in the pocket today, so that's what you had to do on these types of days. I think it's well worth it because the opportunity is tremendous when they start to go. You've seen that the last couple of days. I'm talking about the meme stocks. Don't sleep on NVDA, red to green. If that takes out 9-10, it could be absolutely nasty. But you know what's up. We'll be back at 2. For now, it is the professor. It is Adara. It is Learn to Trade.
Ripping.
And it's going to be some meme trading 100%. Let's go.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as That Midday Show. That is your girl.